Jake.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, man, who could have dropped Jake off in the driveway instead of coming into my house?
Yes, I could have, but then I would have missed this. Go on, Jake.
First of all, Mom, I love you.
Jake, did you call your teacher Big Mama again?
Mom, you're so funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of funny, what do you think about beauty pageants?
Well, Jake, I think beauty pageants are fine for some people, but you really ought to stick with soccer.
Stop! My sides. We're having a fundraiser at school. It's a pageant for grandmas.
Oh, a grandma pageant. Really? Oh, little old ladies going up on stage strutting their stuff. That is hilarious.
Yeah, but that's not the funny part.
I signed you up.
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Mrs. H, I thought of the perfect thing for you to wear at your pageant. Best of all, it's patriotic.
Oh, what exactly could that be?
Red hair, white face, blue hat. You are a flag. Here.
Reba, you've told me 1,000 times and I've never listened. You're right. I should just keep my mouth shut. I'm just apologizing in advance.
Guess what I am?
The new fruit in the Fruit of the Loom.
Brock told me about the pageant. Isn't it exciting?
What are you doing?
Well, you know, I know that Jake felt obligated to ask you, but I just wanted to show him what other options were available. You know, after all, I am a step-grandma.
With the brains of a stepladder.
Wow, Barbara Jean, you look fantastic.
Oh, this was easy. You know, just an old pageant gown, some hairspray and makeup, and 3 strategically placed rubber bands. Oh. Two rubber bands.
5. Yeah, we started with 5 rubber bands.
Okay. Now, Jake, if you allow me to represent you in the pageant, I have several song options for the talent portion. Now, first, and a 1, and a 2. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, Yankee Doodle do or die. Now, something more sedate, like this. Ave Maria, gratia de Maria. Break it down, Mary.
I need a beer.
Yeah, right behind you.
Hey. Oh, no. Did I miss Mary breaking it down?
Oh, I can do it again.
Nah.
Okay. So anyway, somebody asked me a question.
Okay. What's wrong with you?
I meant a pageant question.
What exactly is missing from your life that would make you enter a pageant?
That's a good question, Bob. I want to be a role model, not just to grandmas, but to all people everywhere. Hey, now. To show compassion for the human race by visiting children's wards, volunteering at retirement homes, and reading to the eyeless.
You mean to the blind?
No, I mean the eyeless who can see. Okay, gee whiz.
Wow, Barbara Jean, your speech was really good. And you sure do know how to tap.
Yeah, but tap dancing to that song was just a little disrespectful. Now, if you wore a nun's costume, no, you know what? I hear that's a tough habit to break.
No, you're right, Jake. She would be great. But you know, you kind of already did ask your mom, and well, if Barbara Jean's in it, she's gonna make my life miserable.
Actually, Brock, as I recall, you picked me first, too.
So, Mom, you don't care if Barbara Jean takes your place?
No, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. You don't care, do you, Reba?
Oh, not at all. No, Barbara Jean is really good at these sort of things. Truly, she's a natural. So, Jake, you pick whichever one you want, and it won't hurt my feelings at all.
Well,
Pick me, pick me.
I guess I pick Barbara Jean.
Yes! I mean, thank you. And I hope I can live up to the confidence and expectations you have in me.
Okay.
Well, looks like I'm out of the pageant, so I'm gonna go have me some pie.
Mom, what are you doing? You can't let Barbara Jean enter that pageant.
Why not? Old people need to laugh, too.
Jake wanted you to be in the contest. That's why he came up with the idea.
What are you talking about?
It was his idea for the fundraiser. He told all his buddies that you were gonna win because you're the youngest, coolest grandma.
He did?
Yeah, and he's a hard enough kid to like without them seeing that.
Oh, man. I didn't know it was so important to him. Of course I'll do it.
Hey, Reba, do you have any juggling pins?
Yes, Barbara Jean, they're in the backyard under the big top.
You won't need them, Barbara Jean. I've decided to enter the pageant.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to.
Well, I think it's important to Jake that I do it.
Well, what I think's important to Jake is that somebody win. And let's face it, I have a better chance.
Really? And why would you say that?
Well, because I have experience. I have won 4 beauty contests already. Miss Value Mart, Miss Knox County Peony, Miss Tasty Freeze, and a wet t-shirt contest down in Galveston.
Why is it the stuff that normal people try to forget you brag about?
Reba, try not to think of it as you not being in the contest. Think of it as me saving you from making a fool of yourself.
Do you have a full-length mirror in your house?
Reba, you have a great many talents. You make a nice omelet. But in this, you're out of your league.
Barbara Jean, I'm entering this pageant because I don't want to disappoint Jake. But I'm gonna whip your butt. That will be the icing on the cake.
Oh, well, bring it on, Peaches! Bring it on!
Hey, I thought I'd wear my cousin's dress in the pageant. She got married 3 times in this thing. It's lucky.
Mom, You're gonna be in a beauty pageant. You have to wear something, flashy, something that catches the eye.
Or turn your head into a flag, I'm telling you.
Look, Mom, I'm sure if we look way in the back of your closet, we can find something sexy.
Cheyenne, I've had 3 children. The only thing sexy in my closet is an old nursing bra.
Hey, not fun of me.
All right, we'll go shopping tomorrow. But look, have you thought about what you're gonna do for your talent routine?
Yes, I'm gonna do a comedy routine.
Oh, merciful God, no.
Look, I've been watching a lot of late night comics, and it looks easy. All I need is a little practice, and I can be as funny as they are. So sit back, shut up, and laugh.
Might want to work on your intro.
So it's great to be here with you tonight. You know I'm divorced. So I'm back in the dating world again. Dating. Wow. How many of you here are single tonight? So you know what I'm talking about. So, New York. Wow. How many of you are here from New York? Man, cats and dogs sure are different, huh?
You suck! I'm sorry, Mrs. H, but that's what they do at the clubs.
Okay, look, Mom, no offense, but I don't think stand-up's your thing.
Well, I can't do anything else. Comedy's all I know.
We have our work cut out for us. Come on in, Mom.
Cheyenne, I feel overdressed for Vegas.
You look fabulous.
Thank you.
And considering what you did look like, I'm brilliant. Okay, I have to go. I found a set of teeth.
Hello, Reba.
Barbara Jean.
Oh, mew, mew.
I like your speech. Makes you sound smart.
I'm I'm practicing my elocution. One more weapon in my arsenal with which to defeat you. You.
I feel like I'm staring into a fish tank.
Hey, I got your stuff, honey. Yeah. Hey, Reba.
Hey,
Listen, you two. I want you to remember something. This pageant is for the school. It's not a competition between the two of you. So no matter who wins or loses, the most important thing is don't take it out on me.
The old Vaseline trick, eh? You newbies just kill me. Hope you know if you put too much of that on, your lips get all slippery and you start to slur your words.
thanks, but I can handle this on my own.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
The pageant's gonna start soon. Shouldn't you go change?
Shouldn't you apply some more rubber bands?
Shouldn't you go? Shouldn't you go? That was a good one.
Okay, I'm looking for Grandma Hart.
Oh,
That's
that'd
me.
be me.
I'm sorry, but we can only have one grandma for each family. So which of you is going to represent the Hart?
That'd be me.
Okay. Why don't you two work it out, and I'll check back with you.
Okay.
If there's only gonna be one of us, that one of us is gonna be me.
Oh, well, I don't think so. That crown is mine.
I'm Elizabeth's real grandma. You're just a crazy woman who married Grandpa.
But I have to be in this one.
Why? How many do you have to win until it's enough?
One.
What?
You heard me. I just want to win one.
Wait a minute. What about all those other pageants? I thought you were Miss Frozen Meats or something.
It was Miss Tasty Freeze, and I came in last. I always come in last, even at the wet t-shirt contest. How was I supposed to know it was a gay bar?
Well, if none of them ever worked out, why the heck did you want to enter another pageant?
Well, I figured I could finally whoop a bunch of old grandmas. But I didn't figure that one of those old grandmas was gonna be you. Who's gonna vote for me if you were in the contest?
Barbara Jean.
You know, ever since I was a little girl, all I ever wanted to be was a beauty queen. They were like beautiful queens. But in real life, they were just small-town girls who worked at the Piggly Wiggly. Just like me.
So, do we have a Grandma Hart yet?
Yes. It's her.
Good. Ladies, we'll be filing on stage in just a minute.
Weeba, why'd you do that?
Because I know how much it means to you. You'll be great, Barbara Jean.
Thanks.
Oh, excuse me. Just between us grandmas, I am hotter looking than she is, right? Good luck. Oh, man. Feels so good to get out of those high heels.
Oh, tell me about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the reigning queen of the Parker Elementary School Pageant of Grandmas, Mrs. Barbara Jean Hart.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's the way she's gonna enter every room for the next 6 months. I'm very happy for you, Barbara Jean.
Oh, honey, can you get me a soda?
took you guys so long?
We had to stop and buy a tiara.
Hey, they should have had one.
Here's your pie, Van.
Oh, thanks. Hey, can you get me a soda?
What am I, your wife?
Hey, Jay, you okay with it that I didn't get to enter the contest?
Yeah, it was way better that Barbara Jean entered. She was awesome.
Oh.
My friends thought it was so cool when your baton lit the curtain on fire.
Those old ladies sure can run, can't they? Reba, I got your message that you wanted to see me. This is the first time that's ever happened. I got you a card.
I need your help.
That is so wonderful. Oh, I should have got a second card.
Monday morning, I have a job interview with Dolly Majors.
Dolly Majors? The real estate agent whose face is on every bus bench in town? Oh, Reba, she is bigger than that lawyer, Mr. Accidente.
I know, and since you're my only real estate client, I need a letter of recommendation.
Oh, I'd love to. Oh, I already have 3 poems about you that I could use. Reba's hair is red. Violets are blue. If Brock ever left me, I'd marry you.
Actually, I took the liberty and typed something up. All you need to do is sign it.
Okay.
And you can leave off the smiley unicorn if you don't mind.
Heads up!
I'm on it. Go long.
Stop. Jake, get in here.
Yeah, but first, go long.
Give that to me. Jake, how many times do I have to tell you not to throw things in the house? Now get outside and play.
But the sun, it
Yes.
This letter is so cold and impersonal. It sounds like we hardly even know each other.
I know.
You know, this doesn't fully represent what is in my heart, so if you don't mind, I'm gonna give it the Barbara Jean touch.
Had to call her. Had to invite her over. You got rocks in your head, Reba. That's what you got. I'm serious, Barbara Jean. This interview is huge, and I only have 2 days to get ready for it.
Hi, I'm Dolly Majors.
But I thought the interview was Monday.
Rule 1 of real estate, expect the unexpected. I like to schedule an interview one day and then just pop in on another.
I tell Miss Reba you're here.
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
It is okay that I popped in, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's just that I'm not dressed and the house is a mess. Couldn't we schedule a time for you to pop in?
Well, then I wouldn't get to see who you are under pressure. And so far, you're as jumpy as a flea on a hot breed.
No, I'm fine. Come in, sit down. I'm sorry the house is so messy. I have kids.
Reba!
She's not one of them.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
you don't leave now, this will be the moment you'll regret for the rest of your life.
Hi, I'm Barbara Jean.
Dolly Majors.
Oh my gosh. It's like looking in a tiny mirror.
Yeah. Dolly popped in just as you were popping out. Bye-bye now.
Reba, are you kidding? This is perfect. Why write a letter when I can give Dolly my recommendation in person?
Because you're less crazy on paper than you are in person.
Yo. Now, Dolly, Reba sold a condo for us, and I just have to tell you, she is the best real estate agent in the world.
Well, that is good to know.
She's not through talking.
Now, Brock and I wanted to help her out after she lost her job. She didn't actually lose it. She got fired. She called her boss a monkey's butt. She's kind of got a little problem with her temper. You know?
See, I bet you dollars to donuts this would not have come up in my office on Monday.
Diane, quit nagging me about not working. I just got paid $25. That means selling my blood counts as a job.
And who is this ambitious young man?
I'm Van, and I'm a little dizzy.
Oh my gosh, it's Dolly Majors. This is so weird. Mom has an interview with you on Monday.
It's been rescheduled to right now.
Oh, okay, well, we'll get out of your hair.
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't want to blow this for you, because let's face it, it's a long shot anyway.
You know, we are just so appreciative that you've given her this interview. I mean, who else would give a woman her age with no experience a chance?
Knock 'em dead, Mrs.
Yeah,
H.
good luck.
Sorry about that, doll.
What's that?
That's her daughter, Kira. Yeah, she's fallen prey to the rock and roll lifestyle.
Man, tell Kira to knock it off.
Kira, turn down that devil music!
Sorry about that, Dolly. Well, you wanted to pop in and see the real me, so this is it. It's also the reason if you hire me, I'll never go home.
Rule 2 of real estate, be yourself. Heck, I have an Uncle Floyd that can spit his glass eye in the air and catch it on the second bounce.
Oh. Well, Dolly, she should be herself because she is great. She's Reba. She's unbelievable. You know, I only wish she'd been a real estate agent when I bought my house down the street.
Wait, you did not buy that old colonial house with the bad... never mind.
Bad what? Is there something wrong with my house? Oh my God, is it the roof? Is it the plumbing? Oh, toxic mold. Oh my gosh, I've seen that movie. That stuff can come to life. Maybe I should sell my house.
Call me.
Thank you. Oh God, thank you so much. Oh, it's still warm.
If she moves, I'll work for you for free.
Rule 3 of real estate, always look for the sale.
Well, I just happen to be very good at that. I'm a natural-born salesperson.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I've been here 5 minutes, and so far you haven't tried to sell me anything.
I'd sell you my kids, but nothing. I'd sell you my kids.
Sell me your house.
But I kind of used the house to live in.
Well, I know that. It's a test. You want to sell, start selling. My record to make a sale is 30 seconds. Go.
You're kidding, right?
Time's a-wasting. The little diamond's catching up to the big diamond.
Okay. I'm not gonna sell you this house.
No?
No. Anybody can sell you a house. What I'm selling is a place to raise your children. A place where memories are made. A place to grow, to love, to live. No, ma'am, I don't sell houses. My name is Reba Hart, and I sell homes. And if I had a card, I'd pull one out of my breast and give it to you.
Rule 4, get to their hearts, not their brains. You got the job.
Oh,
And you are going to be the prettiest woman in the office.
Oh, second to you.
Hey, we're not comparing apples and melons here.
But I got the job. I got the job right here in my living room in my sweatpants. You know what? We should celebrate. I've been chilling a bottle of champagne just in case something good happens. It's a few years old, but it's still bubbly.
Ain't we all?
Yeah.
Hey, Mom. I was outside playing with sticks like some kind of cave boy. When I saw this on the porch with my name on it.
That's from me. I heard Reba had a boy my grandson's age, so I brought you something.
That is so nice of you, but you shouldn't have.
A weapon! Cool!
Oh, boy. A baby gun for a 10-year-old boy. You really shouldn't have.
I learned to shoot when I was 5. How do you think my Uncle Floyd got that glass eye? I'm just kidding. Kids are so overprotected these days, don't you think?
Can I keep it, Mom? I want to shoot a can off Van's head.
Well, I don't know. It was...
Please?
Reba, one of my greatest joys is giving presents. You are not going to deny your new boss joy, are you?
No, of course not. What I was going to say is I don't know any better way of celebrating than with a glass of champagne and gunfire. Honey, I'm going to keep the BBs, and you take your gun upstairs and memorize all the instructions in English and in Spanish. Dolly, make yourself at home. My house is your house. Just don't sell it, okay?
Mom, Van just came into the garage and told my band to shut up.
Yeah, write a song about it.
Here, honey, I just needed you to stop playing long enough for me to get this job, which I got.
Way to go, Mom!
How'd you do it? Was it pity? It was pity, wasn't it? You are so lucky people pity you.
Hey, guys, go out and keep Dolly company while I get the champagne.
Okay. Mom, seriously, my band has a gig tonight, and you said we could practice here.
Oh, honey, yeah, I did. But in my defense, I'd had wine with dinner. Can't you practice over at your dad's?
Not since Barbara Jean learned the words to our songs. And bought a tambourine.
Well, look, you don't need to practice your music. Just work on your attitude. You know, how you hate authority. Well, I gotta tell you, Dolly, getting this job is a dream come true.
Oh, we're excited, too.
Look at me. I'm shaking.
Who's ready to celebrate?
We are.
We're buying a house.
You sold Van and Cheyenne a house?
Yeah.
It's another major sell by Dolly. That's her slogan. You wouldn't believe where she keeps these things.
Dolly, how did this happen?
I don't know. Somehow the subject of real estate came up.
Yeah, and then she remembered this house that was perfect for a young couple. Then I said, we're a young couple, and the next thing you know, we're a young couple of homeowners.
But you hadn't even seen it yet.
Oh, we don't need to see it, Mom. The way Dolly described it, it was like we were there.
I just love the entryway.
Oh, me too.
Well, have you given any thought to how you're going to pay for it?
Of course, we're not clueless.
Whatever's left of my football settlement will go to the down payment.
Okay, what about the mortgage and insurance?
Mrs. H! Red gold!
Yeah, but still, a new house is very expensive.
Reba, it's not a house, it's a home. It's a place to grow, to love, to live. And putting young couples in a home of their own is another one of my great joys.
Well, who knew there'd be so much joy here today?
Reba, why would you tell Barbara Jean that our house is going to come to life and eat us?
It wasn't Reba. It was her.
Hi, I'm Dolly Majors.
Don't we look like twins separated at birth?
Dolly, this is my ex-husband, Brock.
No, you can't be old enough to have 2 teenage daughters.
Well, I work out. And anyway, about our house,
Oh, speaking of houses, Van and Cheyenne are buying a house of their own. Isn't that great?
Don't stop by without calling first.
Reba, can we see you in the kitchen?
Sure, this is such a happy occasion. We're gonna need more champagne or something stronger.
Seriously, you could be my mini-me.
Reba, why didn't you stop that woman?
Because she's Dolly Major. She's unstoppable.
Oh, come on, she's only human.
With a smile that could light up Broadway.
She's my new boss. If I run that sale, I could lose the job I haven't even started yet.
Well, we have to do something. We can't let those two buy a house.
Brock, you're the father. Get in there and forbid them from buying that house. Oh, whoa, wait. Be careful. Dolly's smart.
Oh, yeah? And what am I?
Be really careful.
And don't worry about furniture. You just borrow more than the house is worth and then spend the extra money on whatever else you need.
We should borrow $3 million. We'll be rich.
All right, Van, that's enough. Cheyenne, your mother is completely supportive of this deal. But as your father, I'm afraid I'm against it.
You keep saying it, and I can't believe it's true. You are actually her father.
Well, if you're saying nice job on the moisturizing, thank you.
Why don't we talk about this over a glass of champagne? Not that you need any more sparkle in those blue eyes.
Well, I guess one glass couldn't hurt.
Man, I hope Brock can handle this. Sometimes when he gets around chesty blondes, his brain goes on the fritz.
I'm not worried about her. When you got a big gulp at home, you don't go looking to sip from a thimble. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how'd it go?
Great. We're buying a vacation home.
What?
Oh my gosh, is it a beach house? Can I sunbathe a la mode?
Brock, how did this happen?
I don't know. Her voice took me to a place where the angels live. With golf course access.
Okay, clearly this situation needs to be handled by the only person here with a lick of sense.
Is someone coming over, Reba?
Me. Now get out of here before she sells you a piece of the moon.
Yeah, come on, Barbara Jean. Let's find a map and figure out where Costa Rica is.
So I can sublease warehouse space and have a place for my band to practice whenever I want?
You betcha. How much is your allowance?
Kara, you silly. You don't need a warehouse, honey. My garage is always open.
But you said...
I said get out there in the garage and rock and roll, dudes.
Hey, it's getting late. We better go sign those offer papers.
Oh, yeah. Boy, this sure does bring back memories. You know, I remember my first new home. Of course, your dad and I had jobs when we were making money, but still, there were 100 things that could go wrong. You know, like a leaky roof and the plumbing and ants. Oh, Lordy, those ants.
What about spiders?
Oh, Lordy, those spiders.
I hate spiders.
But you love the entryway.
Yes, I do. Oh. Cheyenne, I'm having conflicting thoughts. You know I only like to have one. What are we gonna do?
Honey, maybe we should just take our time and think about this.
I think she's right. You two should not jump into buying a house.
They shouldn't?
Of course not. They should consult other professionals in their area.
I think that's a good idea.
Like you, Reba.
I think that's a bad idea.
Don't get shy on me now. I consider you a valued employee, even though we haven't signed the papers yet. I'm happy with the sale. Van's happy. But I want to know if you're happy.
You think it's okay, Mom?
Well, I'd have to say...
I memorized El Manuel. Can I have the beanies and a pumpkin?
No.
Can't have a BB gun? Can't wing a frisbee in the house? Were you ever a kid?
And no on the house, too.
What? But Mrs. H, I've already decorated it in my mind. At least let me have the jungle room.
Look, I've been letting everybody do stuff that they shouldn't do just because I didn't want to go up against Dolly. But that stops now.
You know what? She's right. We're way too young to be grown-ups. Come on, let's go play with our baby.
You call that an entryway? So I guess I should just give this back to you. Should I'm just gonna hold it.
You just cost me a sale, Reba.
Well, Dolly, selling is important. So are people. And I don't think I could sell to anyone, especially my kids, if I didn't think it was a good idea, even if it meant I wasn't gonna get the job.
Well, I thought you might feel that way. I knew when I walked in that door you were a person that cared about family. And that's why I was testing you.
You were what?
It was another test. I do that.
You got me again. You were testing to see if I had character and integrity and the backbone to stand up to my boss.
And you've got more backbone than a beer-battered catfish.
Oh, so I got the job. I passed the test.
No, you flunked.
Excuse me?
Reba, you are amazing. I mean, life throws you cow patties and you grow a garden. But hey, this is business. It's a business I started in my garage and built into the biggest real estate empire in Houston. I don't need a good person. I need a shark.
You're right. I'm not a shark. I'm more like one of those cute little fish in Finding Nemo.
I tell you what, I'm going to recommend you to any other agency in town. Maybe a few years might put some rough edges on you, and then you can come talk to me.
Oh, thank you very much. Hey, maybe one of these days I'll sell you a house.
Oh, I just love your sense of humor.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I'm starting to see the resemblance between her and Barbara Jean.
Why are you staring at me?
I can't help it. You're so cute. I remember when you were 3 years old and you'd sit in your little car seat and you'd play with your little toy steering wheel and you'd go beep, 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 beep.
Mom.
Come on, do it for me just one more time. Beep, beep, come on. Beep, beep, come on. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now, for your test, remember, hands on the wheel at 10 and 2, feet on the pedals, 7 and 4. Just a little driver's humor there.
It's good stuff, Mom.
Thanks.
Seriously, my test is in an hour. I just want to get a little practice.
Okay.
Crosswalk!
Barbara Jean, are you nuts?
Yes. That's the point. Kira has got to be prepared for anything. It is crazy out there on the road.
Not very sane here in the driveway either. Okay, Kira, let's take it for a spin around the block.
Oh, no, not yet. Let's talk safety first. Now, before pulling out, always check your rear. Check your rear.
Hey, you guys back from your practice drive already?
We haven't left yet. By the time we actually get to my test, I'm going to be too old to drive.
Kira, I'm just trying to prepare you for real driving conditions. Get off the road, you idiot! Learn how to drive, moron! Seriously, I hear that all the time.
And do you have a flashlight or a stun gun I could hit her with?
No hitting in the car.
Yeah, no hitting in the car. Stop hitting my seat.
Oh, how do you like me now?
All right, that's it. Everybody out.
Thank you.
Kira doesn't need to practice. Everybody knows. You take a driving test in a cool car, you pass.
Thanks, man, for letting me use your car. I know you two have a special relationship.
Well, not so much anymore. Cars are a lot like women. See, after a year or so, they... Let's go take that test. Okay, I'm set. Hit it!
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Look at me. I'm Kira. I'm so cool. Oh, look at that. It's a giant T-Rex in the road. Watch out. Oh, but here comes Jake on his motorcycle to save his sister. What? He's driving right by. Oh, that's right. She was always so mean to him.
Jake, you wouldn't let your sister get eaten by a dinosaur, would you?
Do you know any?
Go upstairs and play in your room.
Okay. Look at me. I'm Mom. I like bossing people around.
Is Kira back yet? Did she get her license?
I don't know. She better hurry up and get it soon. Only have one fingernail left.
It just feels so weird, Kira getting her driver's license. It was like yesterday that I was teaching her how to ride a bike. She'd ring that little bell. Bring, 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 bring. Beep, beep. Bring, 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 bring. Beep, beep. Hey, maybe we'll get lucky and she'll flunk.
Oh, she's not gonna flunk. I told her how to dress for the test. You know, shirt down to here, skirt up to here. I've never even driven a car before I took my test. I have a license to drive a car, a motorcycle, and an 18-wheeler.
And yet she's always here.
Well?
Bad news.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry.
Your insurance rates are going up.
And listen, don't even worry about the insurance. Yeah, I got a pretty strong feeling that the first person who walks in my office tomorrow is gonna need a root canal.
That's how I got my engagement ring. Congratulations, sweetie.
What's going on?
Kira got her license.
Oh, congratulations, Kira. I remember when I got my license. I felt so free. It was like a passport to drive.
Yeah. I just hope your picture turns out good. When I got my license, my face looked like this. Yeah. Now every time I get pulled over, that's the face I have to make.
You are so lucky, Kira. The 3 months between when I got my license and when I got pregnant were like the best, most freest times of my life. But I don't miss it. I mean, more than 3 months would have been way too much.
Okay. Well, now that you've got your license, we have a few rules we need to go over with you.
Yeah, I don't need rules. Cheyenne drives and she doesn't have a bunch of rules.
She's a wife and a mother. She's not gonna do anything crazy.
Exactly. Between school and home, she's practically a prisoner. A bird in a gilded cage. Have fun at school, honey.
Yeah. Cage bird. Oh, God.
Okay, first of all, no friends in the car. And you have to tell us where you're going. You can drive to school, to the library, and home.
What about Mexico?
Bring, bring.
Beep, beep. Look, honey, I know it sounds a little strict, but maybe this will make up for it.
Cool, a picture phone.
And my picture is your screensaver.
Your picture's my screensaver, too.
Okay, use it only for emergencies, okay?
Okay, I've got my emergency phone and I know the rules, so can I have the keys to go to the library?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's a great idea. I'll drive.
Brock, let her go. We gotta learn to trust her sometime. Here, honey. Have fun. Buckle up, lock the door, and check your rear.
Love you.
Love you too. And keep that phone on you at all times.
Trust her? What is wrong with you? Come on, Barbara Jean, let's trailer in my car.
Wow, Mrs. H, that is so cool of you. I wish more parents trusted their children.
There's a tracking device on her phone.
What?
She's 16 and mobile. I mean, this way, even if she doesn't call, I can go online and find out where she is.
That's not the Mrs. H I know.
It's a changing world, Van, and I'm changing with it. Oh, by the way, they had a special on it, so I got you one, too.
Cool. Why do they always turn out that way?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to see how delicate this GPS tracking thing is. I typed in my phone number and the satellite is showing our neighborhood. Hey, take my phone, run down the block, will you?
Oh, you run down the block and I'll meet you there.
Gotcha!
Oh, Reba, thank goodness you're here.
It's amazing how two people can feel so differently about the same thing.
Kira's late. She was supposed to be home at 9, and it's 4 minutes after. You know, I tried calling her, but she won't pick up.
Oh, my gosh, Barbara Jean, do you know what that means?
No, what?
She has caller ID. It's all right. I trust Kira.
How quaint. Reba, take it from somebody whose parents trusted her. Don't trust her.
I have a great relationship with Kira, and that relationship is based on respect.
Like ours?
Right. Now get out of here.
You want me to go? I'll go. But if she's not home in 5 minutes, I'm calling the police.
Don't touch the computer! I tied my phone to a dog.
I gotta type in Kira's phone number. I need to track her.
So that's why you were acting so calm, A tracking device. Genius.
No, the dog's headed to a river. The phone's not waterproof.
Okay, I just take the coordinates, I type them into the map, and we find out. Look, here she is, 428 Hill Street.
Hill Street. Reba, that is downtown.
Okay, all right, let's not panic.
Okay.
We go into the yellow pages, type in the address, and we find that Kira is perfectly safe at Corky's Martini Lounge.
Oh.
I don't get it. What's Kira doing in a bar?
Well, if she's anything like me,
She's not. I mean, what I don't understand is how can a 16-year-old girl get into a bar?
Oh, Reba, there are 1,000 ways. I used to crawl in through the men's room window.
Barbara Jean.
And if you're not sensitive to the cold, you can hide in the beer delivery truck. I'm also licensed to drive one of those. Okay.
Barbara Jean, that's enough.
Okay, all right, I know.
And I mean for your entire lifetime.
Okay.
Now let's get down there.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, hi, Kira. Oh, gosh, Kira.
Kira, where have you been?
The library?
Yeah, right. More like the liar-brary.
call my daughter a liar? Unless, of course, you are lying. And if you are a young lady, you better tell me the truth right now.
Okay, you got me.
Okay.
On the way home, I drove the car into the Grand Canyon. Thelma didn't make it.
Very funny. And why didn't you answer your phone?
Because I traded phones.
You traded your phone? Kira, I bought that phone for a specific reason.
You mean the tracking device?
Tracking device? Can you believe her?
Mom, you're not the first parent to try and pull that one. I just thought you were better than that.
I think we all were a little disappointed.
Oh, shut up. You need to get that phone back. And I don't like this person you traded with.
I don't really either. It's Cheyenne.
What is Cheyenne doing in a bar?
Cheyenne's not at a bar. She has biology lab on Tuesday night.
Reba, take it from someone whose parents trusted her. There is no such thing as a biology lab. Well, that doorman was very polite.
Yeah, except you were honey and I was ma'am.
Hey, this is a karaoke bar. Oh my gosh, Reba, let's sing.
Oh my gosh, let's not. I don't think Cheyenne would come to a karaoke bar. The GPS thingy was a ripoff.
Okay, everybody having a good time tonight? Yeah! Well, keep enjoying yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, but remember one thing. There's got to be a morning after.
There's got to be a morning after. We can hold on to the night. There's a chance to find sunshine. Keep on looking for the light.
You think that used to be a song?
No wonder Elizabeth used to cry every time she sang to her.
If you keep on looking for the light.
Oh, boy. I don't understand it. Why didn't she just tell us she was singing?
Would you?
If you keep on looking for the light. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Oh no. Oh no, she's seen us. This could be awkward. Quick, start a bar fight.
Mom, Barbara Jean?
Oh, Cheyenne. What are you looking at, Blondie? Huh?
What are you guys doing here?
Oh, we thought it'd be a fun place to meet all our friends, you know, here at the biology lab.
Okay, fine. I didn't go to the biology lab, but I didn't want anyone to know I was here.
Gee, I wonder why. I mean, man, that chick definitely wants a piece of me. Yeah, bring it!
Cheyenne, honey, what's going on?
Nothing.
I just paid $8 to park, $4 to get in here. Now, I think you owe me about $12 worth of explanation.
Okay. Mom, when did you first realize that you were old and your life was over?
I hadn't, but thanks for the update.
Sorry. But every day, I wake up and I know exactly what my day is gonna be like, and the next one, and the one after that. And
some people look at that as security.
yeah, some people look at that as a rut. I mean, Mom, look at all these people around here, okay? They're about my age, and they're not wives and moms. They're just people. You know, don't get me wrong. I love being a wife and a mom. It's just, I don't know. You probably think I'm so weird.
Honey, no, I don't. Everybody feels like that from time to time. Who am I? Why am I here? Why didn't I lock the door when Barbara Jean was walking up the driveway? Have you talked to Van about this?
No, this is something that I'm sure he wouldn't understand. Van's always known who he is. He's a football player.
Cheyenne, Van doesn't play football anymore. He's a guy that wakes up every morning not knowing what his day's gonna be like. He probably feels like he's in a rut, too.
We just had to grow up so fast. You know what? You're smart for wanting to keep an eye on Kira.
Well, I needed a hobby. Now that I'm old and my life is over. Cheyenne, you realize that you can't keep coming down here by yourself.
Yeah. And I was getting really good.
Hey, are you guys done talking?
Yeah, Barbara Jean, you ready to go?
Yeah, after this. Hit it! Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Barely getting by, it's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Barely getting by, it's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5.
Hey.
Hey, sweetie, how was school?
Oh, it was swell. Yeah, just like yesterday. And hey, good news. Tomorrow I get to do it all over again. I gotta go bathe Elizabeth.
Ah, bathed, read to, and already asleep.
Aw, thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. Go have fun.
Welcome to DJ Van's Karaoke Palace. Looks like we got a live one walking on the stage here.
Oh no, did Mom tell you?
Yeah,
Are you mad at me?
I was at first, but then I got one of these. And now I get it.
Van, the reason
No,
that
I know why you did it, Cheyenne. I just wish you would have told me what you're going through. You've been there for me, and I'll always be there for you.
You're so sweet.
And from now on, we sing together.
Oh.
There's got to be another star!
If we hold on to the night.
Cheyenne, you are really good.
Keep on looking for the light. There's got to be a morning after. If we hold on to the night.
Excuse me, Van.
Hey.
Excuse me, Van. I'm trying to dust the furniture.
Well, can you do it later? I'm watching this show about women's rights.
Now, just rub your socks on the table.
Well, all right, but this counts as one of my chores.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Brock. Where's Jake?
What do you mean, where's Jake?
What I mean is, we were married once and had a son. At this time, do you know his location?
Wait a second, he's not here? Because I was supposed to pick him up and take him over to Tammy Anderson's house.
No, you were supposed to pick him up at Tammy Anderson's house and bring him here. Jake, how'd you get home?
Tammy Anderson's dad gave me a ride. And all the way home, he wondered how someone forgets their kid.
Me too.
Hey, I'm sorry, buddy. You know, your mom asked me to do it. I guess I kind of blew it.
That's okay. Hey, Tammy's mom let us paint.
Let's have a look.
Oh, hey, did Elizabeth do that?
No, honey, that was Jake.
Recently?
It's a boy waiting alone at a bus stop. I call it, "Where's Dad?" See you later, Dad.
Yeah.
Brock, you're a good father, but lately you just hadn't been spending any time with the boy.
I'm sorry, but I've been swamped. You know what? We're trying to get the dental practice back on its feet and juggling 2 families. Geez. I haven't even had any Brock time.
As I recall, it's Brock time that got you 2 families. I'm just worried that it's starting to affect Jake.
You know, she's right, Mr. H. You don't want to end up like that song about the boy and his dad with the dog and the cradle and the rubber spoon. You see, before you know it, he's gonna be grown, married with a kid of his own. Won't call as often as you like. Sorry. I got something in my eye. Great, now the other one's got it.
What's up with Van?
The same thing happened with him and his dad. They were never close. He doesn't really like to talk about it, but he's getting better now.
Diane, I need you!
Hold on, baby!
Well, take your shoes off and ain't finished the table.
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
She ate her lunch so sadly, so alone, just eating her lunch all alone, drinking her water, thirsty for love, all alone, so alone.
Okay. Get $20 out of my purse and go to the mall.
Girl went to the mall because her mom said okay. Said okay.
Get out.
Yes, she did.
Reba, I did it. I'm going to be spending more time with Jake. I am going to coach him in football. Isn't that great?
Are you talking about tackle football?
Reba, this is Texas. You're lucky I don't tackle you right now.
I don't want him to play tackle football. He could get hurt. He's one of the smallest kids in his class.
Reba does have a point. I mean, I was the only girl on my 6th grade football team. And I ate boys like Jake for breakfast.
Which makes it all the more important that he learn not to let his size stop him. Come on, Reba. Kid living with his mom, turn him into a mama's boy.
Jake's not a mama's boy.
Hey, Mom! Where's the sewing kit?
It's where you left it.
Oh.
Hey, tough guys sew too, you know.
Look, Reba, tons of kids play football and they don't get hurt. You know, it'd do them a world of good to get a little dirty, mix it up some.
Ooh, Brock has a point. When I played football, I got hit in the head all the time and it didn't affect me. Somebody get the phone!
You don't even know if Jake wants to play football.
Tell you what, why don't we just ask him? Jake, come over here, killer.
What's up?
Listen, pal. How would you like to have a great time playing football and being coached by none other than your ever-loving dad?
Jake, you don't want to play football and get all sweaty and have people slapping you upside the head all day long, do you?
Jakey, you know, on the one hand, you'd have girls cheering for you, and on the other hand, possible head injury. Although, honey, I played as a kid and I'm fine. Somebody let that cat out!
I want to play football.
Yes, that's my boy. All right, we're gonna start workouts first thing tomorrow.
Cool. I can't wait to decorate my helmet.
If he wants to decorate his helmet, you let him.
You're not the boss of me.
What'd you say?
Jeez, I was agreeing with you.
Oh, hey, Reba. Here's a sport Jake's not too small to play. Origami. The ancient Japanese art of folding paper. He folded a towel at our house once. Nobody got hurt.
Any chance you could fold your lips?
Oh.
Hey.
What happened? Where is he?
Oh, you got nothing to worry about, Reba.
Oh, thank goodness. So he's okay?
He was horrible. Oh, God love him, he stunk on ice.
But he's not hurt, right?
No, Reba, no. You can't get hurt in the fetal position. To be honest, it was a little embarrassing.
Oh, please tell me you didn't say that in front of him.
Well, of course not.
Did you roll your eyes?
No, I didn't. Not even when he put the dandelion in his helmet.
But, honey, you can still put him on the team, can't you?
It's not up to me, Barbara Jean. The Parks Commission makes the cuts, and Jake is going to be the first to go, the poor little guy.
Well, where is he?
Last I saw of him, he was chasing a butterfly. Or it was chasing him. I couldn't look.
Oh, Jake, baby. No. You need anything? Chocolate milk, a cookie, something?
You want to come over to our place and fold some towels?
No, thanks. Hey, Dad, I had a great time today.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
And the best part is, we get to spend every Saturday together for the rest of the season.
Sure we will, Jakey. Sure we will. I'll see you at home, Barbara Jean.
So, Jake, you really had a good time today, huh?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, you could just spend Saturdays with me.
Don't be jealous, Mom. A boy has to spend time with his father, too. It doesn't mean I love you any less.
This is horrible, Barbara Jean.
I know.
Because of me, that little old boy's heart's gonna be broken. Can't believe I'm gonna say this, but somehow or another, we gotta get that boy on the football team.
Okay, Reba. I'll coach him.
Not you, Barbara Jean. Somebody knows what they're doing. He's not trying out for mascot.
I'm just saying, I think I feel so much better now that my dad and I have talked.
Honey, driving by his house and honking your horn is not talking.
He knows my honk.
Van, I need you to coach Jake.
I thought you didn't want to play in football.
I didn't, but he feels it's very important to spend a lot of time with his dad.
So you want me to teach him that the only way to win his father's love is by playing some silly game? Because let me tell you something, Mrs. Egg. You can run around all you want, and it's not gonna... I won't do it. Someone's gonna break the cycle.
I think he's doing way better with this.
Diane, I need you!
Right behind you, baby!
So, I bet someone who doesn't know what she's doing is looking pretty attractive right now.
Oh, go answer the phone.
Oh, I knew it.
$49.50. Ready or not, here comes Daddy. Where's Elizabeth? Where's Elizabeth? Elizabeth! Honey! Honey, where are you? Oh, there you are. Come here. Oh, you scared Daddy. Don't do that. I should only count to 10 next time.
Van, is everything okay? You were yelling.
It was fine. Elizabeth just got scared, but Daddy made everything okay. Why don't you go inside now?
Yes. You think he's a freak now. Wait till you start dating.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Dating? Yeah, she's gonna grow up and start dating.
Sir, you want to get out the practice field, please?
What are you guys doing? Wait, you're gonna train Jake?
Hey, somebody has to. She might not be the most qualified, but at least she doesn't burst into tears every 2 minutes.
And I happen to be extremely qualified. After high school, I coached football professionally for a year at Gatesville Women's Prison. We would have won the Texas State Prison Tournament, except my quarterback was shot trying to escape.
Barbara Jean, if you're gonna make things up, why don't you make things up that make you sound good?
Why do I even have to do this? After I make the team, I'll just practice with Dad and the other kids.
You bet. We're just making extra sure that that happens.
What do you mean? Everybody that tries out gets on the team, don't they?
Well, not exactly, no.
But don't you worry, Jakey. If I can turn little Arson Annie into a top-notch running back, I can help you.
But I thought everybody made the team. I'm not as good as those other kids.
That's okay. That's why we're out here with Coach Cuckoo.
This is bad. I'm the worst guy out there. And 2 of those guys are girls.
Okay. First off, let's lose the sexism. Come on, look. Even if by some chance you don't make the team, it doesn't really matter. Hey, there's a lot of other things that you're really good at.
But Dad doesn't care about those things.
Oh, yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. Not like he cares about football. And I can't play football. And when I don't make the team, he's gonna wish he had another son.
Oh, Jake, honey, he does have another son.
I know how the kid feels.
Oh, knock it off. You don't know anything.
Oh, yes, I do. I never had a relationship with my father either.
You're unbelievable. You know that? You're so busy with your little pity party that you can't keep the same thing from happening to him.
This is a sensitive issue for me.
Okay, look, Van, I'm sorry what happened between you and your dad, but that was a long time ago. My little boy is hurting now.
What do you want me to do about it?
Help him! Help him make the team!
Well, my dad never helped me. He never helped me make the team. Never came to the tryouts. You can't impress somebody who isn't there. Be strong, man. Be strong. All right, dang it, I'll do it. But no halfway. That boy is mine.
Thank you, Van.
He's gonna need a new pair of shoes, lots of water, and a pan of fudge brownies.
Brownies?
No questions. I've got to turn a boy into a man, and I get hungry. All right, this time run a skinny post. On 2. Hut, hut.
Good, Jake. Good, Jake. It's birthday. It's birthday. Raise the roof. Oh, Michael Jackson.
All right. Way to go, bud. That's like 10 in a row you caught.
I thought it was 11.
Well, I don't count the last one because of the way you danced. Never do that again. All right, so we've gone over passing, A+, receiving, A+, Now the only thing left is the fun part, hitting.
What about kicking?
Kickers are little wimps who are afraid to get hit, Jake.
I think I want to be a kicker.
No, you don't. Didn't you hear me? Hitting is the fun part.
Not when you're the one getting hit.
Wait a minute. Is this why you did so bad the other day? You're afraid of getting hit?
Yeah. I also don't want to be lit on fire. I'm weird. I bet you think I'm a big baby.
No. Listen. When I was playing, I was afraid of getting hit too.
No, you weren't.
Oh, yes, I was. Everybody's afraid of getting hit, but you can use that to your advantage. So you need to hit them first, so they get scared first. Now, we're gonna do a play right now, but we're gonna do it in slow motion. I want you to try to hit me before I hit you, okay? On go. Ready, set, go.
Hey! You said slow motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I messed up. Let's try that again. Okay, here we go. Ready, set, go.
Hey, no fair.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more time. Ready, set, go.
Yes! Stop it! Whoa.
That's right, Jake. Whoa.
I like that feeling.
Still want to be a kicker?
I want to hit a kicker.
Lesson over.
Yeah!
All right, cut it out.
No.
Get off me.
No.
Jake.
Yeah, you better walk away. That's right. Oh, yeah.
Snap! What's that? It's that little boy's leg. Crack! Oh my! It's that little boy's arm.
Kira! Knock it off!
You know what? You think you're so funny and you are so not.
Yeah? Well, you think you're so pretty and you so are.
Well, shut up, Kira.
Hey!
So, honey, what happened?
Was he hurt? Tell me he's not hurt.
He's hurt! He's hurt! He's landed in the dirt!
I will sell that guitar.
He's fine. He'll be right in.
Did he do it? Did he make the cut?
Yes, he did. And then he got banned.
Banned? Oh, good Lord, no. Steroids?
You should have been there. He was an animal. He was in on every play, running, jumping, putting the smack down on guys. My son is a monster.
Okay, wait a minute. I don't understand. If he was so great, why was he banned?
Yeah, isn't that how you're supposed to play? Run around like a crazed lunatic? Great sport, by the way.
Yeah, well, they don't want him playing like that at his age, so some of the parents got together with the committee and they banned him for 1 year. They called him an assassin. Jake, can you believe it?
So you just let them ban him?
Oh, no. I said, okay, if he can't play, then I'm not going to coach.
And what did they say to that?
They said that's what they were thinking, too. So they banned me. I can't coach for a year.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Assassinator. Stay very still, folks. He's trained to hit anything that moves. He's 75 pounds of ornery whoop-ass.
But he's so cute.
Watch it, cheerleader. Thanks for the help, Van.
Hey, no problem, buddy. Helped me too. It gave me a chance to work through some of my feelings. I can't believe I spent all those years mad at my dad because... Oh, boy. I'm gonna go call my dad.
You know, all of this has really helped him. I think he's had a real breakthrough. I'm just glad I could have been there for him.
Cheyenne, I touched the machine.
Okay, this is getting old.
Well, Jake, I think this might be the first time you ever got in trouble with anybody. I'm really proud of you.
Come on, Mr. Assassinator. I'm gonna take you in the kitchen and buy you a soda.
I'll get it.
Oh, thank goodness you hear it too.
a triumphant sparkle in his eyes. Because you always pick scissors. The younger man sighed heavily, staring at his own hands as if they had betrayed him. Of course I do. It is my system. He looked up, reality setting back in. So you will tell her? Ben's victorious smile vanished instantly. The thought of the confrontation washed over him. Yeah, fine, he mumbled, before immediately backtracking. No, I do not want to. You tell her, the younger man pleaded, his voice rising in panic. Come on, you tell her. Please, please, please. Before Ben could formulate another excuse, a familiar, grounded voice floated into the kitchen. Reba walked in, carrying the calm authority she always seemed to possess. She took one look at the two men bickering over the empty salt shakers and sighed. No, Ben, why should I tell her? Reba asked, though she already knew the argument they were about to present. Ben turned to her, his eyes wide with a sudden spark of inspiration. Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks. He paused, looking at Reba with an exaggerated expression of appreciation. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Reba rolled her eyes, a small, knowing smile breaking through her stoic expression. She saw right through the blatant flattery. Oh, you? She dismissed him with a wave of her hand, but her tone was soft. Another young woman, Cheyenne, stepped into the kitchen, catching the tail end of the conversation. She took pity on the terrified men. Look, sweetie, why do not I tell her? Ben let out a massive breath of relief, clutching his hands to his chest. Thank you. Before anyone could take another step, the front door swung open with a dramatic creak, followed by the heavy, hurried footsteps of Mrs. H. She burst into the kitchen, a massive cardboard box balanced precariously on one hand, a look of pure, unadulterated triumph on her face. Hey, 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 Mrs. H cheered, her voice echoing off the tile walls. Guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Reba pinched the bridge of her nose. Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. She gestured around the kitchen, which, despite being empty of snacks, was hardly the home of starving people. I mean, it is really just the three of us. Mrs. H set the large, grease-stained box on the island, patting the top of it affectionately. Oh, I know, but I had to take it. It was free. Somebody will eat it. The word had barely left her lips before Ben lunged forward. Dibs? Reba looked at her family, feeling a sudden, overwhelming urge to establish some order. She placed her hands on her hips. You know what, Mom? I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Mrs. H looked deeply offended, placing a hand over her heart. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Suddenly, the attention shifted as Mr. H entered the room. He looked exhausted, carrying a heavy burden on his shoulders that had nothing to do with pizza. All right, that is it, Mrs. H. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop it, drop it, drop it. He stepped closer, his voice laced with genuine concern. Drop it.
Monsieur H.
I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different? Before Mrs. H could defend her pizza, the front door burst open once again. This time, it was not the delivery of food, but the arrival of a phenomenon. You who? I am here, and I am thin. The voice was high-pitched, bubbly, and impossibly energetic. Barbara Jean stood in the doorway, striking a pose. The family stopped and stared. It was as if a stranger had walked into their home. The woman standing before them was radiant, completely transformed. A stunned silence fell over the room. One of the men finally broke it, muttering under his breath. Yeah, thin is a stick, and dumb is one. Yikes, another whispered. What is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. Brock rubbed his eyes, leaning against the wall for support. Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare. But Barbara Jean stepped further into the light, twirling gracefully. Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin. Reba let out a long, slow sigh, and the nightmare continues. Music seemed to play in Reba's head, a soundtrack to her chaotic life. My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter, I am a survivor. Reba shook herself from her thoughts as one of the kids tugged at her sleeve. Mom, make us some pancakes. Reba shook her head firmly, walking over to the blender. No, I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk. The room erupted into groans. Power walk? Someone complained. Oh, forget your power cane. Van, always quick to jump in, frowned. That is not nice. Mom does aerobics. She could shatter her hip. Reba fixed Van with a withering glare, her hand hovering over the blender's power button. And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless. Barbara Jean, entirely oblivious to the tension, skipped over to the counter. Hey, everybody. I am here and I am. Oh, shut up and have a donut. Someone interrupted, sliding a pastry box across the counter. Barbara Jean gasped, stepping back as if the donut were a venomous snake. Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies. Are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbohydrates. Reba gripped the handle of the blender tightly, trying to maintain her composure. Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle, but seriously, there has to be some sort of... She trailed off, noticing the young men in the room standing completely frozen, their eyes locked onto Barbara Jean. Reba snapped her fingers in front of Van's face. Will you stop staring at her? Van blinked, shaking his head. What? We have been staring at her for, the past 2 hours. Cheyenne, looking slightly insecure, shifted her weight. Well, she is pretty. Barbara Jean beamed, fluffing her hair. I am pretty. Cheyenne offered a supportive, albeit strained, smile. Well, of course you are. You have always been pretty. But she is new pretty. Reba looked at Van, her eyebrows raised in disbelief. Oh, Van. That is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife. Van, oblivious to Reba's sarcasm, turned to Cheyenne. Van, you really think that I am new pretty? Cheyenne asked, seeking validation. Van smiled broadly. Oh yeah, you are like a bleached-out Halle Berry. Cheyenne's face lit up. Thank you. You are welcome, Van replied, pulling his phone from his pocket. I am going to go make some calls. As Van walked away, a young man leaned toward Barbara Jean, his voice lowering to a conspiratorial whisper. So, Barbara Jean, yeah, is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight, you want to do, Bonce ka bonce. Van, Cheyenne shouted, her face turning crimson. Van spun around, realizing his mistake instantly. He rushed back, waving his hands frantically. Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady. January Jan Brady. Cheyenne crossed her arms, completely unamused. I am Marcia. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. Barbara Jean, eager to change the subject back to her favorite topic, clapped her hands together. So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gymnasium and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life. He is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. She leaned in, her eyes shining with admiration. We go over the clothes I am going to wear, the movies I am going to see. Reba stopped blending her smoothie, a look of profound confusion crossing her face. Whoa, The movies you are going to see? What has that got to do with you getting in shape? Barbara Jean waved a dismissive hand. Oh, nothing. We just have this. Crossed her arms, her face flushing with sudden anger. Okay. Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay. The entire room fell silent. The tension completely evaporated, replaced by a sudden, heavy wave of utter shock and slight embarrassment. What? Brock asked, his voice barely a whisper. Barbara Jean turned to Reba, her hands resting firmly on her newly defined hips. Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts? Brock choked on his own saliva. Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts? He is gay. He was not touching them, Barbara Jean clarified, rolling her eyes. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. She turned away, shaking her head in frustration. No, Reba, Barbara Jean said, her voice trembling slightly. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me. Reba stepped out of the kitchen, her own defenses rising. The slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus. The phallus. The girls, Barbara Jean corrected. Oh, the puppies. Reba stood tall. I am not threatened by you. Really? Barbara Jean challenged, taking a step closer. Yeah. Then why did you go down to the gymnasium? What were you spying on me? Reba opened her mouth to deny it, but the truth was heavy on her tongue. No. Okay. Yes. I went down to the gymnasium because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Barbara Jean asked, genuine hurt flashing in her eyes. Because you have changed, Reba said softly but firmly. I have not. Yes, you have, Reba insisted, her voice rising slightly. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. Barbara Jean threw her hands up. Hello? I have always been that way. From the corner of the room, Ben nodded quietly. She kind of got a point there. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean. Reba pressed on, trying to explain the strange dynamic that had taken over the house. Yeah, Barbara Jean agreed, her voice softening. The way you guys look at me, I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. The truth of her words hung in the air. Brock looked at his shoes, feeling incredibly foolish. Reba crossed her arms, looking at the floor. I know she might be right, Brock mumbled, rubbing the back of his neck. Could be us. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. Reba started to defend herself, but stopped. She took a deep breath, looking Barbara Jean straight in the eye. Look, Barbara Jean. The truth is I think I went down to the gymnasium almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. You know, anything. So I could feel superior to you and your skinny behind. So, I am sorry. She waited for the anger, for the reprimand. But instead, a massive, brilliant smile broke across Barbara Jean's face. Sorry. Barbara Jean squealed, clasping her hands together in pure joy. Yeah, this is great. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba's eyes widened in horror. I do not want to be you. I know. Barbara Jean laughed, throwing her arms around Reba in a tight, suffocating hug. It is even better. You want to look like me. Reba managed to extricate herself from the hug, grabbing her purse from the chair. Hey, where are you going? Just going to go grab something to eat. Reba called back over her shoulder, heading for the front door. I will see you next year. Upstairs, the evening had settled quietly over the house. Van sat on the edge of the bed in his room, staring blankly at the dark television screen. Hey, buddy, Van said softly to the empty room. What are we watching? No, we are not. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go. He held out his fist to the empty air. You are going to pick scissors, are not you? He laughed to himself. Get out. The bedroom door opened slowly, and Cheyenne peeked her head in. "Hey, honey." "Hey, baby," Van replied, a warm smile spreading across his face. Cheyenne stepped fully into the room, nervously playing with her hands. "I need to talk to you." "Oh, honey, I just got the television," Van groaned, reaching for the remote. Cheyenne walked over and gently took the remote from his hand, setting it on the nightstand. She took a deep breath, looking down at the floor. "Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest." Van immediately stood up, his heart breaking slightly at her words. He reached out, gently lifting her chin so she had to look at him. "No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty." Cheyenne offered a small, hesitant smile. "But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig." She reached into a bag by the door and pulled out a bright, unnatural-looking blonde wig. Van gently took the wig from her hands and tossed it onto the nearby chair. "Cheyenne, put that down. Listen to me." He took both of her hands in his eyes locked onto hers with absolute sincerity. "I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer body." Cheyenne's face fell slightly, misunderstanding his meaning. "I see my wife," Van continued softly, his thumb gently tracing the back of her hand. "And I am attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas." Cheyenne looked up at him, her eyes shining with unshed tears. "Really?" "Yeah?" Van whispered, pulling her into a gentle, comforting embrace. "You are beautiful to me because of who you are." Cheyenne rested her head against his chest, a soft, happy sigh escaping her lips. "Ah, I feel kind of stupid." Van kissed the top of her head, holding her tighter. "That is also who you are, and I love it." He stepped back, a mischievous glint returning to his eye. He grabbed her hand and gently tugged her toward the door. "Come on, you." "Where are we going?" Cheyenne asked, laughing softly as she stumbled after him. "Oh, we are going upstairs," Van said smoothly. Cheyenne stopped, looking confused. "Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone." Van pulled her close, whispering in her ear. "Sometimes I want to feel new pretty." The morning sun streamed through the wide windows of the kitchen, casting long golden beams across the polished oak floorboards. It was the kind of bright, cheerful morning that usually promised a day of peace. But inside the house, a quiet tension hung in the air. The pantry doors stood slightly ajar, revealing shelves that looked as though a gentle but highly efficient tornado had swept through them. Ben stood near the center island, his arms crossed over his chest, staring at the barren countertops with a look of profound disbelief. He shook his head, his voice dropping to an exasperated whisper. "That woman is out of control," he muttered, gesturing toward the empty space where the fruit bowl usually sat. "She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house." Standing next to him, leaning against the cool granite counter, was a young man whose face mirrored Ben's quiet shock. He picked up 2 small glass containers, rattling them near his ear. Nothing but the faint clinking of glass greeted him. "She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house," he added, his eyes wide. "Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty." He set them down with a soft thud. "Why do not you just tell her she has eaten too much? You tell her." Ben took a step back, his hands raised in immediate surrender. "No, you tell her. Rock, paper, scissors." The two squared off, a silent battle of wills forming between them. The stakes were incredibly high. Nobody wanted to be the one to confront the woman whose appetite had seemingly become legendary overnight. "Ben, you know you are going to lose," the younger man warned, a confident smirk playing on his lips. Ben narrowed his eyes, determined to rewrite history. "Not this time. 1, 2, 3. Their hands came down in unison. The younger man's hand lay flat, paper. Ben's fingers were extended in a sharp V scissors. Dang it! The younger man exclaimed, dropping his arms in defeat. How do you always beat me? Ben grinned, Ben replied simply. Reba leaned forward, resting her elbows on her knees. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Ben sat down on the porch steps, pulling a sandwich out of the bag. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barber Jean, but since Barber Jean isn't looking to play, there is no problem, and it is obvious Barber Jean isn't looking. Reba tilted her head. Why is this obvious? 2 reasons, Ben stated, holding up 2 fingers. Barber Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him. Reba froze. The memory of Barber Jean begging her to come to the gymnasium just a few hours ago flashed through her mind. Meet him? Oh. She stood up abruptly, brushing off her jeans. Where are you going? Ben asked through a mouthful of sandwich. Go down to the gymnasium with the rest of the wackos, Reba declared, a newfound determination in her step. Van grinned, giving her a thumbs up. All right, well, keep those arms a-swinging. The health club was a bright, noisy, and incredibly intimidating cavern of mirrors, loud music, and heavy machinery. Reba walked through the double glass doors, immediately feeling out of place in her comfortable jeans and loose-fitting blouse. The air smelled of sweat, cleaning supplies, and determination. Oh, hey, Reba, you came. Barber Jean's cheerful voice cut through the rhythmic thumping of the background music. She jogged over, holding a small towel and a bottle of sparkling water. Reba looked around, her eyes wide as she took in the crowd of incredibly fit individuals lifting weights and running on treadmills. Yeah, man, there are a lot of beautiful people around here. You should see them naked in the shower. A tall, incredibly muscular man with a perfectly styled haircut and a blindingly white smile walked up beside Barber Jean. He wore a tight athletic shirt that left absolutely nothing to the imagination. Hey, he said, his voice deep and smooth. Jordan. Hey, Reba replied, feeling very small. Jordan turned his attention to Barber Jean, clapping his hands together. Ready to start, Barber Jean? Yeah, she nodded eagerly. Jordan looked at Barber Jean, his eyes roaming over her form-fitting workout clothes. Hey, you look great in that outfit. Barber Jean giggled, blushing deeply. Oh, well, you know, the other woman is getting kind of baggy. She gestured toward Reba, whispering loudly. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas. Okay, Jordan. Barber Jean quickly composed herself and turned to Reba. Jordan, this is my friend, Reba. Hey, I am Jordan, he said, extending a massive, calloused hand. I am Reba, she replied, shaking his hand carefully. Jordan flashed his perfect smile again. So, you going to join us, Reba? Reba took a step back, shaking her head. Oh, I do not know. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while. Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching, Jordan said, his tone turning into that of a strict, motivating coach. You need to sweat a little. Yeah, but you guys got to understand, it has been a while since I have been in a gymnasium like this, and I do not think. Before Reba could finish her excuse, Jordan had already guided Barber Jean over to a padded blue mat on the floor. Hello, there, Jordan called out, initiating the session. Reba watched in growing horror as Jordan instructed Barber Jean to lie down on the mat. He knelt beside her, taking hold of her leg. Barber Jean, you really are getting limber, Jordan praised, gently pushing her leg up toward her shoulder. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Jordan laughed warmly. Remember when I did not want to? Barbara Jean laughed back, entirely relaxed. Reba's jaw dropped. She stared at the incredibly intimate-looking stretching routine, her protective instincts flaring up. Is that, legal? I mean, necessary? Jordan looked up, not breaking a sweat. It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them. Yeah. Otherwise, you could really hurt something. He patted Barbara Jean's shoulder. Turn over. Barbara Jean flipped onto her stomach. Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite. Jordan knelt over her, placing his hands firmly on her mid-back. All right, now, this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day. Oh, I would do it all day if I could. Barbara Jean sighed happily, her eyes closed in pure bliss. Reba felt her face grow hot. She fanned herself with her hand. You know, is this one of these, gymnasiums that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Okay. Jordan finally stepped back, clapping his hands. Oh wow, time for some weightlifting. Reba let out a massive sigh of relief. Oh good, that is enough of that stretching. Hello. Okay, knock this out. Yeah, okay, all right. She grabbed her purse, ready to run for the exit. You know, I think I have seen enough. Barbara Jean stood up, wiping her forehead with a towel. So, what do you think? You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Reba looked from Barbara Jean to the incredibly muscular Jordan. Only if he takes me out to dinner first. Barbara Jean laughed, leaning in close. Are you sure, Reba? Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. Reba swallowed hard, her mind racing with what she was going to have to tell Brock. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Oh, you are a beginner. Reba? Jordan chimed in, walking over to a nearby desk. He pointed toward the far corner of the room, where a terrifyingly large, muscular woman was aggressively lifting heavily weighted bars. You will start with Dot. Dot. Yeah. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. Dot dropped the heavy metal bar with a deafening crash and turned toward Reba, her eyes locking onto her target like a predator. Hey! Dot barked, pointing a chalk-covered finger at the floor mat. Get down there. Reba did not wait to say goodbye. She turned and sprinted for the glass doors, escaping the health club as fast as her legs could carry her. Back at the house, Brock was pacing a hole into the living room rug. When Reba finally walked through the front door, looking disheveled and traumatized, he practically pounced on her. So, did you see him? Brock demanded, his voice bordering on frantic. What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him? Reba leaned against the doorframe, trying to catch her breath. He is big, but he is not as big as Dot. Brock grabbed her shoulders gently. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there? Reba looked into his worried eyes and sighed heavily, the weight of the situation crashing down on her. Look, Brock. I was hoping that I could go down to the gymnasium and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But that is it. Reba, come on. Okay. I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock's face went completely pale. He backed away, running a trembling hand over his face. Man, I knew there was something going on. At that exact moment, the front door swung open again, and Barbara Jean walked in, glowing with post-workout endorphins. Hey, everybody, Barbara Jean sang out happily. I am here, and I am saying well. Oh, hi, honey, Brock said, his voice dripping with sudden, cold sarcasm. Barbara Jean stopped in her tracks, her smile faltering. Do not you hi honey me. What are you talking about? Oh, man, Brock exploded, throwing his hands in the air. Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Barbara Jean looked completely baffled. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Brock turned to Reba. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba threw her hands up defensively, backing away toward the kitchen. I do not want to get involved. She said you are having an affair, Brock stated flatly, pointing an accusing finger at his wife. Any more than I already am, Reba muttered under her breath from the safety of the kitchen doorway. Barbara Jean, Van, that is not nice, he mimicked, talking to himself. He looked at Reba. Mom does aerobics. She could shatter her hip. Reba glared at him, her hand resting heavily on the blender. And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless. Just then, Cheyenne entered the kitchen, rubbing her eyes sleepily. Hey, everybody. Barbara Jean struck another dramatic pose near the refrigerator. I am here and I am. Oh, shut up and have a donut, Brock interrupted, tossing a small, powdered pastry onto the counter. He looked at Reba, who was currently wrestling with a bag of frozen spinach. Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies. Are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbohydrates. Reba stopped the blender, the thick, unappetizing green sludge settling at the bottom of the glass pitcher. She looked at Barbara Jean, trying to maintain her patience. Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle, but seriously, I mean, there has to be some sort of... She trailed off, noticing that Brock, Van, and Ben were all staring wide-eyed at Barbara Jean. Reba snapped her fingers. Will you stop staring at her? Brock blinked, looking slightly guilty. What? We have been staring at her for, like, the past 2 hours. Well, she is pretty, Ben stated matter-of-factly. Barbara Jean beamed, soaking in the attention like a sponge. I am pretty. Well, of course you are, Reba said, trying to inject some common sense into the room. You have always been pretty, but she is new pretty. Van nodded enthusiastically, completely missing the social cues. Oh, Van, that is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife. He looked at Barbara Jean with genuine admiration. Van, you really think that I am new pretty? Oh yeah, you are like a bleached-out Halle Berry. Barbara Jean giggled, flipping her hair over her shoulder. Thank you. You are welcome, Van replied smoothly. I am going to go make some calls. As Van walked away, Brock leaned against the counter, trying to sound casual. So, Barbara Jean. Yeah? She asked, stretching her arms above her head. Is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight, you want to do, you know?
Bounce ka bounce.
Hum. Cheyenne yelled from across the room, her face turning bright red with embarrassment at her husband's incredibly inappropriate question. Barbara Jean quickly rushed over to Cheyenne, patting her on the shoulder. Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady. January Jan Brady. Cheyenne crossed her arms, looking thoroughly unamused. I am Marcia. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. Barbara Jean laughed, turning her attention back to Reba. So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gymnasium and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. She leaned in closer, a dreamy expression washing over her face. We go over the clothes I am going to wear, the movies I am going to see. Reba raised an eyebrow, sensing a strange shift in the conversation. Whoa, the movies you are going to see? What does that have to do with you getting in shape? Oh, nothing, Barbara Jean said breezily, waving her hand. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So, you will come meet Jordan. Reba picked up her glass of thick, green power smoothie and took a brave, albeit reluctant, sip. She grimaced,
No.
Oh, come on, Reba, Barbara Jean pleaded, linking her arm through Reba's. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. The room fell completely silent. Brock dropped the dish towel he had been holding. Barbara Jean gasped, bringing a hand to her mouth. Boyfriend? Oh, whoops, that came out wrong. Oh, she laughed nervously. Reba gently unlinked her arm. Well, thanks anyway, but I am just going to be here with my smoothie. Delicious, just like fruit gravy. Later that afternoon, the house had quieted down. Brock found Reba sitting in the living room, staring absent-mindedly at the television. He paced back and forth across the carpet, clearly agitated. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean, Brock said, practicing his lines out loud as he paced. Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. He stopped and answered himself in a high-pitched voice. Oh, honey, I cannot. I am going to the gymnasium. He resumed pacing, his voice returning to its normal, frustrated pitch. Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much. Really? Skip the gymnasium and eat French food? No confondu bras. Brock threw his hands in the air, looking at Reba for sympathy. Man, she blew me off again. All she wants to do is go down to the gymnasium and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. Exactly. Frankly, I like the new behind, but the new attitude not so much. Reba looked at him over the rim of her reading glasses. Oh, that is really funny coming from the old behind. Brock ignored the insult, too wrapped up in his own anxiety. Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny. Well, I got news for you. Nobody is toned and funny. Rob, you are overreacting, Reba said softly, trying to calm his nerves. Oh, really? Brock challenged, running a hand through his hair. Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Barbara Jean with her trainer? I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than you are, better looking and younger. But Brock stopped pacing and walked over to Reba, a desperate look in his eyes. That is it. Reba, I need you to help me out. I want you to go down to the gymnasium and see if there is anything going on. You know, spy on him for me. Reba immediately stood up, shaking her head. No way, you know. Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy. But she is nothing if not faithful. Yeah, right? Brock scoffed softly. Up until now. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kinds of options. Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Brock crossed his arms defensively. Oh, now there is a great idea. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. Your solutions are ridiculous. Reba makes me to spy on those. Stupid. He stormed out of the living room, muttering to himself about protein shakes and weightlifting belts. Reba walked into the kitchen, picking up her half-finished glass of green sludge. Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you, she muttered, pouring the rest down the sink. As she walked out to the front porch to get the mail, she saw Van sitting on the porch swing, watching the neighborhood go by. Hey, Mrs. H, you off for your power walk? Van asked cheerfully. Man, I love old people. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms, like there is a big sale for false teeth. Reba sighed, sitting down on the chair next to the swing. No, I am not going for my power walk. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko. Van stopped swinging and looked at her curiously. What do you mean? Well, your father thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a forespin. He probably does. Van nodded sagely, as if he understood the deep complexities of the universe. What are you talking about? Guys are pigs. They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are Hot dogs. My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times. He looked slightly melancholy for a moment. I used to. Reba looked at him, surprised. You used to? Van quickly realized how his words sounded and waved his hands frantically. No, baby, do not take it like that. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all. Well, I do not like it. Just then, Ben walked up the driveway, carrying a small paper bag. Where have you been? Reba asked. I went to get something to eat, said the wig off her head, setting it aside on a nearby chair. Her natural hair tumbled down around her shoulders. He reached up, cupping her face in his hands, his thumbs gently brushing her cheekbones. Cheyenne, put that down. Listen to me, Van said, his voice deep and filled with an absolute, unwavering sincerity. I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer bod. Cheyenne's eyes filled with tears. You do not. Van smiled, a soft, incredibly tender expression. I see my wife, and I am attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas. A single tear escaped Cheyenne's eye, tracking slowly down her cheek. Really? Yeah, Van whispered, leaning in closer. You are beautiful to me because of who you are. Cheyenne let out a wet, genuine laugh, wrapping her arms around his waist. I feel kind of stupid. Van kissed the top of her head, pulling her tight against his chest. That is also who you are, and I love it. Come on, you. He took her hand, leading her gently toward the staircase. Cheyenne stopped on the first step, looking at him with a mix of surprise and delight. Where are we going? Oh, we are going upstairs. Van grinned, a mischievous twinkle returning to his eye. Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone. Cheyenne smiled, pulling him up the stairs with her. Sometimes I want to feel new pretty. The house was quiet once more, the echoes of the day fading into the comforting silence of a family that, despite all their flaws, insecurities, and ridiculous misunderstandings, loved each other completely. The morning sun filtered brightly through the kitchen window, casting a warm and golden glow over a scene of absolute culinary devastation. The usually well-stocked kitchen looked as though a gentle but incredibly hungry storm had swept through it during the night. Standing near the kitchen island, Van crossed his arms and shook his head in a mixture of awe and profound disbelief. He gestured toward the empty pantry shelves and the barren refrigerator. That woman is out of control, Van declared, his voice hushed as if afraid the hungry entity might return. She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house. Ben, standing beside him, nodded in solemn agreement. He picked up 2 small glass containers from the center of the dining table, holding them up to the morning light. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house, Ben added, his eyes wide. Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. Van sighed, leaning against the counter. Why do not you just tell her she has eaten too much? Ben immediately took a step back, his eyes widening further in alarm. You tell her. No, you tell her, Van countered, standing his ground. He held out a closed fist. Rock, paper, scissors. Ben groaned, knowing the inevitable outcome of this ancient game of disputes. Van, you know you are going to lose. Not this time, Van said with sudden, misplaced confidence. He pumped his fist in the air. 1, 2, 3. As their hands revealed their choices, Ben sighed heavily. Van had thrown scissors, while Ben had presented a solid rock. Dang it, Van exclaimed, staring at his fingers as if they had betrayed him. How do you always beat me? Ben looked at him with a mixture of pity and amusement. Because you always pick scissors. Of course I do, Van defended himself, crossing his arms proudly. It is my system. He quickly changed the subject, pointing a finger at Ben. So you will tell her? Ben shook his head vigorously. Yeah, fine. No, I do not want to. You tell her, Ben urged, practically begging now. Come on, you tell her. Please, please, please. Before Ben could formulate another excuse, Reba walked into the kitchen, carrying a basket of clean laundry. She took one look at the two boys bickering over the empty salt shakers and sighed. No, Ben, why should I tell her? Reba asked, setting the laundry basket down on a nearby chair. Because, Van began, trying to sound philosophical. Girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks. He paused, looking at Reba, and offered a charming, slightly manipulative smile. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Reba rolled her eyes, but a small smile tugged at the corners of her mouth. Oh, you. She waved a hand dismissively. Look, sweetie, why do not I tell her? Thank you, Van breathed out, a wave of profound relief washing over his face. Just then, the front door swung open with a dramatic flourish. Barbara Jean burst into the house, bringing with her a gust of chaotic, triumphant energy. In her hands, she held a large, flat cardboard box. Hey, 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 Barbara Jean announced loudly, her voice echoing through the quiet house. Guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning. Reba looked at the large pizza box inside, placing her hands on her hips. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the three of us. Oh, I know, Barbara Jean replied brightly, entirely unbothered by Reba's practical logic. She set the greasy box down on the kitchen island with a satisfying thud. But I had to take it. It was free. Somebody will eat it. Van's eyes lit up at the word free. Oh, dibs? He shouted, lunging toward the box. Reba held up a hand, halting Van in his tracks. She took a deep breath, deciding that this was the perfect moment to stage a gentle intervention. You know what, Mom? I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Barbara Jean looked at Reba as if she had just suggested they all move to the moon. She grabbed a large slice of pepperoni pizza and brought it to her mouth. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Suddenly, Brock stepped into the kitchen, his face flushed with exasperation. He pointed a stern finger at the slice of pizza hovering near Barbara Jean's mouth. All right, that is it, Mrs. H. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Barbara Jean froze, the pizza a mere inch from her lips. Drop it, Brock repeated, his voice filled with genuine concern. Mrs. H. I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? He looked at her closely, his eyes narrowing as he tried to figure out the sudden change in her behavior. What is different? Before anyone could answer, a loud, cheerful voice echoed from the hallway, pulling Brock from a strange, vivid daydream. You who? I am here, and I am thin. Brock blinked rapidly, shaking his head to clear the strange vision of the pizza intervention. He looked toward the doorway. There stood the real Barbara Jean. She was not holding a pizza. In fact, she was wearing a sleek, form-fitting athletic outfit that highlighted a dramatic and impressive weight loss. She looked vibrant, energetic, and completely transformed. Yeah, Van whispered under his breath to Ben. Thin is a stick, and dumb is one. Yikes, Ben muttered back. What is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. Brock placed a hand over his heart, breathing a sigh of immense relief. Oh, thank goodness it was just a nightmare. But the reality was equally as shocking. Barbara Jean twirled around the kitchen island, striking a pose. You who? I am here, and I am thin. And the nightmare continues, Brock mumbled to himself, rubbing his temples as a headache began to form. Barbara Jean began to hum a cheerful, empowering tune to herself, prancing around the kitchen. My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter, I am a survivor. Ben, entirely unfazed by the musical performance, tugged on Reba's sleeve. Mom, make us some pancakes. Reba, feeling suddenly inspired by Barbara Jean's overwhelming display of physical fitness, shook her head firmly. No. I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk. Van let out a short, cynical laugh. Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane. Gone to the gym, hoping to prove his insecurities wrong. Hoping to find Barbara Jean innocently lifting small pink dumbbells. Instead, she had witnessed a stretching routine that looked more like an exotic dance. Look, Brock, Reba started slowly, choosing her words with extreme care. I was hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But Brock's face fell. He let go of her shoulders and stumbled backward. That is it. Reba, come on. Shen called from the stairs, having overheard the commotion. Okay, Reba continued, taking a deep breath. I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock collapsed onto the sofa, burying his face in his hands. Man, I knew there was something going on. 30 minutes later, the front door opened, and Barbara Jean practically floated into the house, her gym bag slung over her shoulder. She was still glowing from her workout, completely unaware of the tense atmosphere waiting for her. Hey, everybody, she sang out brightly. I am here, and I am saying well. Oh, hi, honey, Brock said. His voice was dangerously low, vibrating with suppressed anger. He stood up from the sofa, squaring his shoulders. Barbara Jean stopped smiling. Do not you hi honey me. What are you talking about? Oh, man, Brock scoffed, throwing his hands in the air. Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Barbara Jean looked genuinely bewildered. She looked at Brock, then at Reba, who was standing quietly near the kitchen entrance. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Brock pointed an accusing finger at Reba. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba immediately took 2 large steps backward. I do not want to get involved. She said you are having an affair, Brock yelled, entirely abandoning his composure. Barbara Jean let out a sharp, incredulous laugh. Any more than I already am. She dropped her gym bag on the floor and marched right up to her husband. Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. Brock crossed his arms tight against his chest. Why not? He is gay, Barbara Jean stated plainly, as if commenting on the weather. The silence that followed was absolute. Brock blinked slowly, his brain struggling to process the information. Reba's jaw dropped. What? Brock finally managed to whisper. Barbara Jean turned to Reba, placing her hands on her hips in a gesture of pure exasperation. Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts? Brock nearly choked on his own saliva. Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts? He is gay. He was not touching them, Barbara Jean corrected him smoothly. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. She picked up her bag and started walking toward the stairs. No, Reba. Barbara Jean suddenly stopped and turned back around, her expression shifting from annoyance to deep hurt. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me. The slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus. Reba felt a flush of anger rise in her cheeks. The phallus. The girls, Barbara Jean corrected herself quickly, waving a hand. Oh, the puppies. Reba stepped forward, her maternal instincts replaced entirely by a defensive pride. I am not threatened by you. Really? Barbara Jean challenged, raising an eyebrow perfectly manicured by her new salon. Yeah. Then why did you go down to the gym? What were you spying on me? Reba opened her mouth to deny it, but the lie died in her throat. She looked at Barbara Jean, at the woman who had caused so much upheaval in her life, and found herself unable to maintain the facade. No. Okay. Yes. I went down to the gym because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Barbara Jean looked genuinely confused. Why would you think that? Because you have changed? Reba admitted, the truth finally spilling out. I have not, Barbara Jean argued defensively. Yes, you have, Reba insisted, her voice rising slightly. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. Barbara Jean stared at her for a long moment. Hello? I have always been that way. From the corner of the room, Brock quietly chimed in. She kind of got a point there. Reba sighed, the anger leaving her body, replaced by a profound exhaustion. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean looked down at her hands, her voice softening. Yeah, the way you guys look at me, I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. The vulnerability in her voice struck Reba deeply. She looked at the woman standing before her, stripping away the new clothes and the dramatic weight loss, and saw the same insecure, eager to please person who had always been there. Brock stepped forward, looking entirely ashamed of himself. I know she might be right. Could be us. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. Reba held up a hand to stop him. She needed to take responsibility for her own actions. She walked slowly toward Barbara Jean. Look, Barbara Jean. The truth is I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. Barbara Jean looked up, her eyes wide. You know, anything, so I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry. Sorry. Barbara Jean repeated, her voice barely a whisper. Yeah, Reba confirmed softly. Suddenly, a massive, brilliant smile broke across Barbara Jean's face. She clapped her hands together, practically bouncing on her toes with excitement. This is great. Reba frowned, entirely lost. What? For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me? Barbara Jean squealed, looking as though she had just won the lottery. Reba shook her head firmly. I do not want to be you. Barbara Jean laughed, tossing her hair over her shoulder. I know. It is even better. You want to look like me. She spun around, radiating pure joy, and headed for the kitchen. Hey, where are you going? Just gonna go grab something to eat. I will see you next year. Reba watched her go, a reluctant, fond smile tugging at the corners of her mouth. The woman was impossible, absolutely exhausting, and completely ridiculous. But in her own strange way, she was family. Later that evening, the house had finally settled into a peaceful quiet. The drama of the gym had faded, replaced by the comforting, mundane sounds of domestic life. Van was sitting on the living room sofa, the television glowing softly in the darkened room. He was clicking aimlessly through the channels when Ben walked in. Hey, buddy, Van greeted him warmly. What are we watching? Ben looked at the remote control in Van's hand. No, we are not. Van grinned, setting the remote down on the coffee table. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go. Ben rolled his eyes, holding out his hand. You are going to pick scissors, are not you? Get out. Van laughed, playfully shoving the boy's shoulder. Before the game could commence, Cheyenne slowly walked down the stairs. Van looked up, his jaw dropping for the second time that day. Cheyenne was wearing a vibrant, dramatic wig that completely changed her appearance. It was styled in sharp, modern angles, an entirely different look from her usual soft, natural hair. She looked uncomfortable, shifting her weight from foot to foot. "Hey, honey," Cheyenne said softly. Van stood up instantly, his eyes locked on his wife. "Hey, baby, I need to talk to you." Cheyenne looked at the floor, suddenly feeling foolish. "Oh, honey, I just got the TV." "Well, I started thinking," Cheyenne continued, her voice trembling slightly, "that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest." Van walked across the room, closing the distance between them. His expression was entirely serious, stripped of his usual goofy demeanor. "No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty." Cheyenne sighed, playing with a strand of the synthetic hair. "But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig." Van gently reached out and lifted, power walking, moving along, swinging their arms, like there is a big sale for false teeth. Reba dried her hands on a towel. "No, I am not going for my power walk. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko." Van grabbed an apple from the freshly restocked bowl. "What do you mean?" "Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a 4-spin, Reba explained, leaning against the counter. Van took a bite of his apple, chewing thoughtfully. "He probably does." Reba frowned. "What are you talking about?" Van leaned in, lowering his voice as if sharing a profound secret. "Guys are pigs. They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs. My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times." Reba looked at him, slightly amused but mostly concerned. "I used to." Van's eyes widened. "You used to?" Reba realized how that sounded. "No, baby, do not take it like that. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all." Before Van could respond, Cheyenne walked into the kitchen. She was wearing a different outfit, but her expression was still sour. "Well, I do not like it. She glared at Van, crossing her arms tightly. Van looked nervous. "Where have you been?" "I went to get something to eat," Cheyenne replied coldly, turning her back to him. Reba decided it was time to change the subject before another argument broke out. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer?" she asked her son, who had just wandered in looking for snacks. Ben considered the question with the solemnity only a child could muster. "Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, but since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem, and it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking." Reba was surprised by his insight. "Why is this obvious?" "2 reasons," Ben stated, holding up 2 fingers. "Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him." Reba felt a sudden, icy chill wash over her. The words echoed in her mind. She would want you to meet him. She thought back to the conversation just a few hours prior, to Barbara Jean begging her to come to the gym to meet Jordan. Meet him? Oh, Reba gasped, grabbing her keys from the hook by the door. "Where are you going?" Van asked, looking startled. "Go down to the gym with the rest of the wackos," Reba declared, marching out the door with newfound purpose. As she walked down the street toward her car, she muttered to herself, "All right, well, keep those arms a-swinging." The gym was a loud, brightly lit cathedral of fitness. Electronic dance music pumped through overhead speakers, competing with the clanking of heavy iron weights and the whir of treadmills. The air smelled of sweat, expensive athletic apparel, and determination. Reba felt entirely out of place in her comfortable jeans and cotton blouse as she navigated through. a sea of perfectly toned bodies clad in neon spandex. Oh, hey, Reba. You came. Reba turned to see Barbara Jean waving enthusiastically from across the room. She was wearing a fitted workout outfit that left absolutely nothing to the imagination. Next to her stood a man who looked as though he had been carved out of marble. He had perfectly styled blonde hair, an impossibly white smile, and muscles that seemed to have their own separate muscles. Reba slowly approached, taking in the environment. Yeah, man, there is a lot of beautiful people around here. You should see them naked in the shower. Barbara Jean giggled, slapping the muscular man on the arm. Hey, Jordan. Hey. Ready to start, Barbara Jean? Jordan asked, his voice smooth and encouraging. Yeah, Barbara Jean replied, practically bouncing on her toes. Jordan looked her up and down approvingly. Hey, you look great in that outfit. Barbara Jean beamed, striking another pose. Oh, well, you know, the other woman is getting kind of baggy. She gestured grandly toward Reba. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas. Oh. Okay, Jordan, this is my friend, Reba. Jordan extended a large, incredibly firm hand. Hey, I am Jordan. Reba shook his hand cautiously. I am Reba. Jordan offered a dazzling smile. So, you going to join us, Reba? Reba took a step back, feeling the sudden urge to flee. Oh, I do not know. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while. Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching, Jordan advised. His tone perfectly professional yet slightly patronizing. You need to sweat a little. Reba crossed her arms defensively. Yeah, but you guys gotta understand, it has been a while since I have been in a gym like this, and I do not think. Hello, there, Jordan interrupted, stepping behind Barbara Jean. He gently took her arms, guiding her into a deep stretch. Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber. Barbara Jean laughed, leaning back against him. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Remember when I did not want to? Reba watched in absolute horror as Jordan positioned Barbara Jean in a way that seemed wildly inappropriate for a public setting, let alone a professional training session. Their bodies were pressed closely together, and Jordan's hands were entirely too familiar. Is that, legal? Reba stammered, her eyes wide. I mean, necessary? Jordan did not even look up from his work. It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them. Yeah. Otherwise, you could really hurt something. Turn over. Barbara Jean obediently flipped over onto her stomach on the blue exercise mat. Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite. Jordan knelt beside her, placing his hands firmly on her lower back and pushing down while she pulled her chest off the floor. All right, Jordan instructed softly. Now, this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day. Barbara Jean closed her eyes, letting out a soft sigh. Oh, I would do it all day if I could. Reba felt her face grow hot. She looked around, wondering if anyone else was witnessing this completely bizarre display. You know, is this one of these gyms that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Okay. Jordan finally stepped back, clapping his hands together. Oh, wow. Time for some weightlifting. Reba let out a massive breath she did not realize she had been holding. Oh, good. That is enough of that stretching. Hello. Okay. Knock this out. Yeah. Okay. All right. She took a few steps backward, needing to put distance between herself and the situation. You know, I think I have seen enough. Barbara Jean sat up, looking disappointed. So, what do you think? You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Reba forced a tight smile. Only if he takes me out to dinner first. Are you sure, Reba? Barbara Jean asked, her tone completely earnest. Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. Reba looked from Barbara Jean to the incredibly handsome, heavily muscled Jordan. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Oh, you are a beginner, Reba? Jordan chimed in, pointing across the crowded room. You will start with Dot. Dot. Yep. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. A massive, incredibly imposing woman wearing a cut-off sweatshirt and an intense scowl stomped over. She looked Reba up and down with absolute disdain. Hey, get down there. Reba did not wait to hear another word. She spun on her heel and practically sprinted out the double glass doors of the gym. When Reba returned to the house, Brock was pacing a hole into the living room carpet. The moment she walked through the door, he rushed toward her, his eyes wild with anticipation. So, did you see him? Brock demanded. What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him? Reba dropped her keys on the table, trying to process everything she had just witnessed. He is big, but he is not as big as Dot. Brock grabbed her by the shoulders. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there? Reba looked at her ex-husband, feeling a deep sense of dread. She had her. Cheyenne leaned her head against his shoulder, a profound sense of peace washing over her. The insecurities of the past few days melted away entirely. Ah, I feel kind of stupid. Van wrapped his arms tightly around her, burying his face in her hair. That is also exactly who you are, and I love it. Come on, you. He stood up, pulling her gently to her feet. Where are we going? Cheyenne asked, a small smile playing on her lips. Oh, we are going upstairs, Van announced smoothly. Cheyenne giggled, wrapping her arms around his waist. Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone. Van kissed her forehead tenderly, looking at her with a love so pure and uncomplicated it was practically radiant. Sometimes, he whispered softly, I want to feel new pretty. The morning sun streamed through the wide windows of the suburban kitchen, illuminating a scene of absolute culinary devastation. The usually well-stocked pantry looked as though it had been ransacked by a highly organized, deeply motivated force of nature. Cabinets hung open, displaying bare shelves. The fruit bowl on the island counter was entirely empty, stripped of its bananas, apples, and even the slightly bruised pears that usually lingered until the end of the week. Standing in the center of the room, looking at the barren landscape of their kitchen, were three deeply concerned family members. Cheyenne crossed her arms over her chest, her brow furrowed in genuine disbelief. Beside her, her husband Van stood with his hands tucked into the pockets of his jeans, shaking his head slowly. Young Ben simply stared at the empty countertops. That woman is out of control, Cheyenne whispered, her voice tinged with a mixture of awe and sheer terror. She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house. Van nodded solemnly, taking a step forward to inspect the dining table. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house. Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. He picked up the small glass pepper shaker, turning it upside down to demonstrate that not a single speck of black dust remained inside. Cheyenne turned to her husband, her eyes pleading. Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? You tell her. Van's eyes widened in panic, and he immediately took a step back, holding his hands up in defense. No, you tell her. Ben sighed, realizing this was going to require the standard family method of conflict resolution. Rock, paper, scissors, the boy suggested, looking between the married couple. Ben, you know you are going to lose, Cheyenne warned him, though she already had her hand extended, resting flat on her palm. Not this time, Ben said with a surge of youthful confidence. The three of them stood in a tight circle, their hands moving in unison. 1, 2, 3, they chanted together. On the final count, they revealed their hands. Cheyenne and Ben both displayed flat palms, representing paper. Van proudly thrust forward 2 extended fingers. Dang it, Ben groaned, dropping his head back in frustration. How do you always beat me? Van chuckled, a triumphant grin spreading across his face. Because you always pick scissors. Of course I do, Ben argued, crossing his arms defensively. It is my system. Cheyenne sighed, looking at her younger sibling with a mixture of pity and exasperation. So you will tell her? Ben's bravado instantly vanished. Yeah, fine, he muttered, turning toward the hallway before suddenly freezing in his tracks. He spun back around, his eyes wide with fear. No, I do not want to. You tell her, Shen urged him, giving his shoulder a gentle push. Come on, you tell her, Van added, joining in on the pressure. Please, please, please. Ben looked between them, completely overwhelmed. No, Van, why should I tell her? Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks. Van explained, his logic twisted but delivered with absolute sincerity. He looked at his wife, a soft smile replacing his panicked expression. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Cheyenne instantly melted, a blush creeping up her cheeks. Oh, you, she cooed, completely forgetting about the crisis at hand as she leaned into her husband. Before the young couple could get entirely lost in each other's eyes, Reba walked into the kitchen. She carried an air of maternal authority, taking in the empty shelves and the panicking children in a single sweeping glance. Look, sweetie, why do I not tell her? Reba offered, her voice calm and steady. She was entirely used to being the designated problem solver in this household. Cheyenne let out a massive sigh of relief. Thank you. Before Reba could even formulate a plan, the front door burst open. The sound of heavy footsteps echoed through the hallway, accompanied by a booming, cheerful voice. Hey, 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 guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Reba closed her eyes for a brief moment, summoning her patience. Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning, she muttered under her breath before turning to face the newcomer. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. Cheyenne tried to reason gently, looking at the massive, greasy cardboard box being carried into the room. I mean, it is really just the 3 of us. Oh, I know, came the cheerful reply, but I had to take it. It was free. The box was placed on the table with a heavy thud. The aroma of baked dough, rich tomato sauce, and melting cheese instantly filled the empty kitchen. Ben's eyes lit up, his previous fear entirely forgotten in the face of melted cheese. Somebody will eat it, he declared. Oh, dibs. Reba stepped forward, placing a firm hand on the pizza box to prevent it from being opened. She looked around at her family, feeling a sudden surge of determination. It was time for a change. You know what, Mom? I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. The suggestion hung in the air, greeted by absolute silence. What are you talking about? I am very healthy, came the defensive response. Before the argument could escalate, a commotion erupted near the living room. Reba turned to see a struggle ensuing over a stray pastry. All right, that is it, Mrs. H. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Reba rushed forward, clapping her hands together. Drop it. Mrs. H finally relented, looking deeply offended as she surrendered the baked good. Reba sighed, her heart aching slightly despite the frustration. Monsieur H, I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different? Before anyone could answer, the front door swung open once again. The bright morning light framed a silhouette that seemed entirely unfamiliar. You who? I am here. A voice sang out, bright, bubbly, and impossibly energetic. And I am thin. Everyone in the kitchen froze, They slowly turned their heads toward the entryway. Standing there, radiating an almost blinding level of confidence, was Barbara Jean. But it was not the Barbara Jean they were accustomed to seeing. The woman standing before them had undergone a transformation so profound it bordered on the miraculous. Her clothes hung perfectly on a significantly reduced frame. Her posture was impeccable, and she possessed a glowing, radiant energy. Van's jaw quite literally dropped open. "Yeah," he whispered, entirely forgetting his audience. "Thin is a stick, and dumb is one." Cheyenne elbowed him sharply in the ribs, but she could not pull her own gaze away from her stepmother. "Yikes," Cheyenne murmured, her eyes wide. "What is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. Reba rubbed her temples, feeling a sudden, intense headache forming behind her eyes. "Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare," she muttered to herself, hoping that if she closed her eyes and opened them again, the old Barbara Jean would return. But when she opened her eyes, Barbara Jean was still there, striking a pose in the doorway. "Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin," she repeated, clearly expecting a parade in her honor. "And the nightmare continues," Reba whispered. Barbara Jean practically danced into the room, humming a cheerful tune to herself. "My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am, did you see him?" Brock demanded, stopping directly in front of her. "What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him in a fight?" Reba collapsed onto the sofa, staring blankly ahead. "He is big, but he is not nearly as big as Dot." "So, what do you think?" Brock pressed, leaning over her. "Is there something going on there?" Reba looked up at him, feeling a deep pang of sympathy mixed with frustration. "Look, Brock, I was truly hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there is absolutely nothing to worry about. But that is it." "Reba, come on," Brock pleaded, his voice breaking. "Okay, I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby." Brock staggered backward, dropping into a nearby armchair as if he had been physically struck. "Man, I knew there was something going on," he whispered, burying his face in his hands. Just then, the front door swung open. "Hey, everybody," Barbara Jean called out cheerfully, carrying her gym bag over her shoulder. "I am here, and I am saying well." "Oh, hi, honey," Brock interrupted, his voice laced with cold, barely contained anger. Barbara Jean stopped, sensing the immediate shift in the atmosphere. "Do not you hi honey me. What are you talking about?" Brock stood up, his face flushed red. "Oh man, did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan?" Barbara Jean looked genuinely confused. "What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent." Brock turned toward Reba, gesturing wildly. "Reba, tell him exactly what you saw." Reba sank deeper into the sofa cushions, wishing she could become invisible. "I do not want to get involved." "She said you are having an affair," Brock accused, pointing a trembling finger at his wife. "Any more than I already am," Reba muttered under her breath. Barbara Jean's eyes widened in shock. "Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair," she stated firmly, setting her bag down. She looked between Brock and Reba, a slow realization dawning on her face. "He is gay." Silence descended upon the living room. It was absolute, thick, and incredibly heavy. "What?" Brock squeaked, his voice cracking entirely. "Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts?" Barbara Jean asked, her tone deeply offended. Brock whipped around to face Reba, his jaw practically hitting the floor. "Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts." Reba threw her hands up defensively. "He is gay. He was not touching them. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives." Brock exhaled a massive sigh of relief, the tension draining out of his body like a deflating balloon. Oh, okay, then. But Barbara Jean was not finished. She crossed her arms, her expression turning hard. No, Reba, everything is not fine. I had absolutely no idea you were so threatened by the new me. Reba scoffed, sitting up straighter. I am not threatened by you. The slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus. Barbara Jean listed off, ticking them on her fingers. The phallus, Reba echoed, raising an eyebrow. The girls, Barbara Jean corrected quickly. Oh, the puppies. I am not threatened by you, Reba repeated firmly. Really? Barbara Jean challenged, stepping closer. Yeah, then why did you go down to the gym? What were you spying on me? Reba hesitated, feeling a sudden wave of guilt wash over her. No, she paused, looking away. Okay. Yes, I went down to the gym because I genuinely thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you ever think that? Barbara Jean asked, her voice cracking with hurt. Because you have changed? Reba said softly, finally voicing the truth that had been bothering her all week. I have not, Barbara Jean denied defensively. Yes, you have, Reba insisted, standing up to meet her eye to eye. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always absolutely want to be the center of attention. Barbara Jean stared at her for a long moment. Hello? I have always been exactly that way. Reba paused, blinking in surprise. She kinda got a point there, Brock murmured from the armchair. Yeah, well, something has fundamentally changed, Barbara Jean, Reba said, her voice softening. Yeah, Barbara Jean agreed, her shoulders slumping. The way you guys look at me, I am still the exact same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just a little less winded. Reba looked at her friend, truly seeing her for the first time since the transformation. She saw past the new clothes and the toned muscles, seeing the same bubbly, insecure, deeply loving woman she had always known. I know she might be right, Reba admitted slowly, turning to Brock. Could be us. I am sorry, honey, Brock said, standing up and wrapping his arms around Barbara Jean. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. Reba started to protest, but stopped herself. She took a deep breath, knowing she needed to own her part in the misunderstanding. Look, Barbara Jean, the absolute truth is I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something completely wrong. You know, anything. So I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am genuinely sorry. Barbara Jean pulled away from Brock, her eyes wide with amazement. Sorry. Yeah, Reba nodded humbly. A massive, beaming smile broke across Barbara Jean's face. This is absolutely great. For the very first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba's expression instantly soured. I do not want to be you. I know. It is even better, Barbara Jean squealed, clapping her hands together joyfully. You want to look exactly like me. Reba turned on her heel and began marching toward the kitchen. Hey, where are you going? Barbara Jean called out happily. Just going to go grab something to eat, Reba yelled over her shoulder. I will see you next year. Upstairs, the quiet of the evening settled over the house. Ben was sitting on the floor of his bedroom, surrounded by comic books. Van knocked gently on the doorframe. Hey, buddy, what are we watching? Van asked, stepping into the room. No, we are not, Ben replied quickly, recognizing the glint in Van's eye. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Van challenged, holding up his fist. Let us go. Ben groaned, setting his comic book down. You are going to pick scissors, are not you? Get out. Van laughed, playfully shoving Ben's shoulder. Down the hall, the atmosphere was much quieter and infinitely more tender. Van walked into the bedroom he shared with Cheyenne. The soft glow of a bedside lamp illuminated the room. Hey, honey, Cheyenne said softly from her position on the edge of the bed. Hey, Baby, Van replied, walking over to the television set. I need to talk to you. Oh, honey, I just got the television, Van said, holding up the remote. Cheyenne patted the space beside her on the mattress. Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest. Van dropped the remote onto the dresser instantly, his full attention snapping to his wife. He sat down beside her, his expression filled with genuine concern. No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty. Cheyenne looked down at her hands, her voice trembling slightly. But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things entirely fresh. So, I bought a wig. She reached behind her, pulling out a bright, unnatural-looking wig, holding it up with a mixture of hope and deep insecurity. Van gently reached out, placing his hands over hers and lowering the wig back to the bed. Cheyenne, put that down. Listen to me. He moved closer, his eyes locking onto hers with an intensity that took her breath away. I think it is a completely good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer bod. I see my wife, and I am entirely attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas. Cheyenne's eyes filled with tears, her heart swelling with emotion. Really? Yeah, Van said softly, reaching up to brush a strand of her natural hair behind her ear. You are beautiful to me precisely because of who you are. Not like it, she cried out, before turning and running back down the hallway, slamming the bedroom door shut. Van stood at the bottom of the stairs, looking entirely defeated. Reba placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. Where have you been? Reba asked gently. I went to get something to eat, Van murmured, looking down at his half-eaten apple with a sense of profound regret. Later, Reba found Ben sitting on the back porch, tossing a baseball rhythmically into his glove. She sat down next to him, needing someone level-headed to talk to. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? She asked quietly. Ben caught the ball, holding it still in his glove. He looked at his mother with a surprisingly mature expression. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, but since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is absolutely no problem, and it is entirely obvious Barbara Jean is not looking. Reba looked at her young son, impressed by his deduction. Why is this obvious? 2 reasons, Ben stated, holding up 2 fingers. Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her absolute best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him. Reba's heart stopped. She recalled the conversation in the kitchen the day before. Barbara Jean begging her to come to the gym, calling Jordan her boyfriend, wanting her best girlfriend to meet him. Meet him, Reba repeated aloud, the realization crashing down upon her. She stood up abruptly. Oh, where are you going? Ben asked, looking up at her in surprise. Reba tightened the laces on her walking shoes with renewed, fierce determination. Go down to the gym with the rest of the wackos. Ben smiled, tossing the ball back into his glove. All right, well, keep those arms a-swinging. The atmosphere inside the gym was entirely overwhelming. It was a cathedral of mirrors, gleaming chrome equipment, and aggressively upbeat electronic music. Everywhere Reba looked, there were impossibly beautiful people moving with coordinated grace, their skin glowing with a light sheen of sweat that looked more like a fashion accessory than the result of actual physical exertion. Reba stood near the entrance, feeling entirely out of place in her simple sweatpants and oversized t-shirt. She took a deep breath, trying to calm her nerves. Man, there's a lot of beautiful people around here, she muttered to herself, feeling incredibly self-conscious. A woman walked past her, looking like a runway model. You should see them naked in the shower, Reba added quietly, her sarcastic humor acting as a defensive shield. She scanned the sprawling room, her eyes darting between rows of treadmills and weight benches. Finally, near a mirrored wall in the far corner, she spotted her. "Hey!" A deep, smooth voice echoed over the music. Reba watched as a tall, incredibly muscular man approached Barbara Jean. He had perfect hair, a dazzling smile, and muscles that seemed to have their own separate muscles. "Jordan," Barbara Jean cooed, beaming up at him. "Hey! Ready to start, Barbara Jean?" Jordan asked, his voice dripping with an easy, practiced charm. Yeah, Barbara Jean nodded eagerly. Jordan took a step back, gesturing toward her neon outfit. "Hey, you look absolutely great in that outfit." Barbara Jean giggled, playfully batting her eyelashes. "Oh, well, the other woman is getting kind of baggy." Reba watched from behind a rack of dumbbells, her jaw dropping open. "Can you believe her?" Reba whispered to a man standing next to her, who completely ignored her. "She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas." Reba took a deep breath, steeling her resolve, and marched across the matted floor toward the pair. Oh, Reba called out, waving her arms to get their attention as she approached. "Okay, Jordan, this is my friend, Reba." Jordan turned to her, flashing a blinding, perfectly white smile. "Hey, I am Jordan." Reba forced a polite smile, though her eyes were narrowed with suspicion. "I am Reba." "So, are you going to join us, Reba?" Jordan asked enthusiastically, clapping his large hands together. "Oh, I do not know," Reba stammered, feeling immediately intimidated by his intense energy. "I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while." Barbara Jean placed a hand on her hip, looking at Reba encouragingly. "Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching. You need to sweat a little." "Yeah, but you guys have got to understand, it has been a very long while since I have been in a gym like this, and I do not think." Reba tried to back away, looking for an escape route. "Hello, there," Jordan interrupted, suddenly placing his hands firmly on Barbara Jean's waist. Reba froze, her eyes widening in alarm. "Barbara Jean, you really are getting incredibly limber," Jordan praised, pulling her into a deep, complex stretch that involved intertwining their arms and legs in a way that looked dangerously close to a professional wrestling move. "Remember when you could not put your leg over my head?" Jordan asked with a bright laugh. "Remember when I did not want to?" Barbara Jean shot back, breathless but clearly enjoying the attention. Reba watched, completely horrified and fascinated at the exact same time. Is that, legal?" Reba stammered, pointing a trembling finger at the tangled pair. "I mean, necessary?" Jordan looked up, not breaking a sweat. "It is absolutely critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them," he explained smoothly, as if tying a client into a human pretzel was a standard industry practice. "Yeah, otherwise you could really hurt something." "Turn over," Jordan commanded gently. "Reba, you need to watch this one," Barbara Jean called out from her upside-down position. "This one is my absolute favorite." Jordan guided Barbara Jean onto the floor, manipulating her arms and shoulders. "All right, now, this gives a very good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day." "Oh, I would do it all day if I entirely could," Barbara Jean sighed, sounding entirely too relaxed. Reba felt her face flush with heat. She pulled at the collar of her shirt. "Is this one of these, gyms that has the heat on real high?" Reba asked, fanning herself with her hand. "I am absolutely sweating." "Okay," Jordan announced cheerfully, finally releasing Barbara Jean. "Oh wow, time for some weightlifting." Reba let out a massive sigh of relief. "Oh good, that is enough of that stretching. Hello, okay, knock this out." "Yeah, Okay, all right. She watched as Jordan guided Barbara Jean over to a complex-looking machine. They stood close, their bodies brushing as he adjusted the weights. The easy intimacy between them was undeniable, though whether it was romantic or purely professional was impossible to tell. You know, I think I have seen entirely enough, Reba announced, taking a step backward. Barbara Jean jogged over to her, a towel draped around her neck. So, what do you think? Do you have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Reba looked at Jordan, who was flexing in the mirror, and then back at Barbara Jean. Only if he takes me out to dinner first, Reba quipped dryly. Are you sure, Reba? Barbara Jean asked, her expression turning surprisingly sincere. Seriously, this is one of the very best relationships I have ever had. Reba's heart sank slightly. She hated being right, especially when it meant Brock was right too. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands entirely full with you, Reba said softly. Oh, you are a beginner, Reba, Barbara Jean said, patting Reba's arm comfortingly. You will start with Dot. Dot. Yep. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. A massive, terrifyingly muscular woman named emerged from the shadows, cracking her knuckles. Hey, get down there, Dot barked, her voice deeper than a foghorn. Reba let out a small, terrified squeak and sprinted toward the exit, determined to escape with her life and her limbs intact. Later that evening, Reba stood in the living room, trying to catch her breath after her frantic retreat from the gym. Brock paced the floor, practically vibrating with nervous anticipation. So, bounce, ka-bounce. Cheyenne gasped, her eyes darting between her father and Barbara Jean. Van, she called out, feeling a sudden wave of inadequacy wash over her. She looked down at her own comfortable clothes, suddenly feeling painfully average. Van poked his head back into the kitchen, instantly sensing his wife's distress. He hurried over, wrapping his arms around her from behind and pressing a gentle kiss to the top of her head. Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot, he reassured her earnestly. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady. Januari Jan Brady. Cheyenne's face fell completely flat. I am Marcia, she stated firmly, her voice trembling slightly. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. She turned and hurried out of the kitchen, feeling a stinging sense of defeat. Barbara Jean, oblivious to the emotional casualties left in her wake, turned her radiant attention back to Reba. So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gym and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your entire life. Reba took a cautious sip of her green smoothie, grimacing at the taste. I highly doubt that. I mean it, Barbara Jean insisted, leaning closer, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. He is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. We go over the clothes I am going to wear, the movies I am going to see. Reba raised an eyebrow, pausing with her glass halfway to her mouth. Whoa, the movies you are going to see? What does that have to do with you getting in shape? Oh, nothing, Barbara Jean giggled, waving her hand lightly. We just have the exact same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just completely buy it. So, you will come meet Jordan. No, Reba said flatly, taking another painful sip. Oh, come on, Reba, Barbara Jean pleaded, pouting slightly. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend, she gasped, covering her mouth with her hands. Boyfriend? Oh, whoops, that came out entirely wrong. Oh. Reba stared at her, an alarm bell faintly ringing in the back of her mind. Well, thanks anyway, Reba said slowly, setting the glass down. But I am just going to be here with my smoothie. Delicious, just like fruit gravy. Later that afternoon, the house had quieted down. Reba was in the living room, attempting to read a magazine but finding her thoughts constantly drifting back to Barbara Jean's bizarre slip of the tongue. Brock wandered into the room, pacing nervously back and forth across the rug. "Oh, hey, Barbara Jean," Reba heard him say toward the hallway. Barbara Jean appeared, dressed in pristine, bright neon athletic wear that looked entirely too clean to have ever seen the inside of a gym. "Here you are," Brock said, attempting a casual smile that looked more like a grimace. "Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us?" "Oh, honey, I cannot," Barbara Jean replied cheerfully, adjusting her perfectly coordinated sweatband. "I am going to the gym." Brock's smile faltered. "Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much." Barbara Jean gasped, pressing a hand to her chest. "Really? Skip the gym and eat French food? No confondu bras." She blew him a quick kiss and practically skipped out the front door, leaving a trail of expensive perfume in her wake. Brock stood in the center of the room, his shoulders slumping in defeat. "Man, she blew me off again," he muttered, turning to Reba with a desperate, deeply troubled look in his eyes. "All she wants to do is go down to the gym and spend time with Jordan, her trainer." "Exactly," Reba replied, turning a page in her magazine without actually reading the words. "Frankly, I like the new but the new attitude not so much." "Oh, that is really funny coming from the old but," Brock snapped defensively, his insecurity getting the better of him. Reba slowly lowered the magazine, fixing him with a chilling glare. Brock immediately held up his hands in apology. "I am sorry, Reba. I am just stressed. It is just. Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny." He paced the floor again, his agitation growing. "Well, I got news for you. Nobody is toned and funny." "Brock, you are overreacting," Reba sighed, wanting to calm him down despite her own lingering suspicions. "Oh, really?" Brock stopped pacing, staring at her intensely. "Yeah, I think she might actually be having an affair with this guy." Reba let out a short, genuine laugh. "Barbara Jean with her trainer? Come on, Brock." "I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than I am. Better looking and younger," Brock rambled, his self-esteem seemingly spiraling down an endless drain. "But that is it. Reba, I need you to help me out. I want you to go down to the gym and see if there is anything going on." Reba looked at him as if he had lost his mind entirely. "You know, spy on him for me?" Brock clarified, lowering his voice conspiratorially. "No way," Reba refused instantly, shaking her head. "You know, Barbara Jean may have a very long list of faults, and I have that list right here in my drawer if you need a copy. But she is nothing if not faithful." "Yeah, right?" Brock scoffed, running a hand through his hair. "Up until now. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kinds of options." Reba softened her tone, seeing the genuine pain and worry in her former husband's eyes. "Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her exactly how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then." Brock stared at her for a long moment, before his face contorted into an expression of sheer frustration. "Oh, now, there is a great idea," he said sarcastically, throwing his hands up in the air. "See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the exact opposite way and appear all weak and whiny. Your solutions are absolutely ridiculous. Reba makes me want to spy on those. Stupid." He trailed off, muttering under his breath as he stormed out of the room. Reba sat in the quiet living room, looking down at her glass of green sludge. "Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you," she whispered to herself. The next morning, Reba decided she needed a distraction. She was determined to take control of her own health, regardless of the drama unfolding around her. She laced up her walking shoes, doing some light stretches in the living room. Van walked down the stairs, munching on an apple. Hey, Mrs. H, you off for your power walk? Yes, Van, I am, Reba replied, touching her toes. Van smiled fondly, watching her stretch. Man, I love old people. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms, like there is a big sale for false teeth. Reba stopped stretching, standing up straight with a heavy sigh. No, I am not going for my power walk, she announced, the motivation suddenly draining from her body. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting completely wacko. Van took a bite of his apple, looking confused. What do you mean? Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a forespin. Reba explained cautiously, using a delicate euphemism. Van nodded slowly, his expression turning serious. He probably does. Reba looked at him, surprised by his immediate agreement. What are you talking about? Guys are pigs, Van stated matter-of-factly, as if discussing the weather. They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs. Reba raised her eyebrows, trying to follow his unique train of thought. My point is, Van continued, gesturing with his apple, is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at absolutely all times. I used to. Cheyenne's voice suddenly rang out from the top of the stairs. Van whipped around, his eyes widening in panic. Cheyenne was standing on the landing, wearing a loose, oversized sweater, looking incredibly vulnerable. You used to? Cheyenne repeated, her voice thick with emotion. No, baby, do not take it like that, Van pleaded, rushing to the bottom of the stairs. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all. Cheyenne crossed her arms, tears threatening to spill from her eyes. Well, I do not tone. You tell her. Come on, you tell her. Please, please, please. No, Van, why should I tell her? Cheyenne asked, crossing her arms defensively. Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks. Van explained, his logic twisted but delivered with absolute sincerity. He paused, his gaze softening as he looked at his wife. A sweet, genuine smile spread across his face. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Cheyenne's defensive posture melted instantly. A soft blush crept up her cheeks, and she smiled shyly. Oh, you, she murmured, the argument entirely forgotten in the wake of his affection. Reba watched the exchange with a mixture of amusement and exhaustion. She raised a hand, calling for a ceasefire. Look, sweetie, why do I not just tell her? Reba offered, taking the burden upon her own shoulders. Thank you. Cheyenne and Van chimed together, breathing synchronized sighs of relief. Before Reba could even formulate a plan of attack, the front door swung open with a dramatic flourish. The boisterous, undeniable energy of Barbara Jean flooded the hallway long before she even entered the kitchen. Hey, 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 Barbara Jean sang out, her voice echoing off the walls. She marched into the kitchen holding a large, flat cardboard box above her head like a hard-won trophy. Guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning. Reba stared at the pizza box, feeling a sudden headache beginning to form directly behind her eyes. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza, Cheyenne offered gently. I mean, it is really just the three of us. Barbara Jean waved her free hand dismissively, setting the heavy box down on the counter with a soft thud. Oh, I know, but I had to take it. It was completely free. Somebody will eat it. Almost immediately, Van's hand shot into the air. Dibs, he called out. His eyes locked onto the cardboard box with undeniable hunger. Reba rubbed her temples, trying to find a delicate way to approach the situation. You know what, Mom? Reba began, keeping her voice light and conversational. I am thinking maybe, just maybe, we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Barbara Jean stopped in her tracks, turning to look at Reba with an expression of utter bewilderment. "What are you talking about?" she asked, her hands fluttering defensively. "I am very healthy." Suddenly, the kitchen seemed to fade away. Reba's mind, fueled by stress and a lack of proper breakfast, drifted into a bizarre, waking nightmare. In her imagination, she heard a voice commanding, "All right, that is it, Mrs. H. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop it, drop it, drop it." The imaginary voice echoed in Reba's head, sounding remarkably like a harsh military drill sergeant. "Monsieur H, I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different?" And then, in the strange, hazy landscape of her daydream, the front door burst open once more. "You who? I am here," called a voice. It was Barbara Jean, but not the Barbara Jean she knew. This dream version of Barbara Jean was impossibly thin, practically swimming in her clothes, yet possessing an attitude that was somehow even more overwhelming. "And I am thin," the dream Barbara Jean announced triumphantly. In her dream, Reba muttered, "Yeah, thin as a stick, and dumb as one." The dream sequence shifted, becoming more absurd. "Yikes," a voice echoed. "What is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. Reba gasped softly, shaking her head vigorously to clear the strange, intrusive thoughts. The kitchen snapped back into sharp focus. The morning light was still shining. The empty salt shakers were still on the table. "Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare," Reba whispered to herself, pressing a hand to her chest to calm her racing heart. But just as the words left her lips, the real front door opened. "You who? I am here." Reba froze, the color draining from her face. She turned slowly toward the entryway. "And I am thin." Reba stared in absolute shock. It was not a dream. The nightmare was continuing in broad daylight. Standing in the doorway was Barbara Jean, but she was entirely transformed. She was slender, radiant, and practically vibrating with a new, overwhelming level of energy. The confident smile on her face was blinding. Reba closed her eyes for a brief second, a silent prayer echoing in her mind. "And the nightmare continues," she muttered under her breath. The morning routine shifted into high gear. The radio in the background played a soft, encouraging tune with lyrics about overcoming struggles. "My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter, I am a survivor." Ben tugged at Reba's sleeve, pulling her attention away from the newly transformed Barbara Jean. "Mom, make us some pancakes," he pleaded, his stomach rumbling audibly. Reba shook her head firmly, determined to seize control of the household's health. "No, I am making everyone a power smoothie," she announced, walking over to the blender and beginning to toss in an assortment of vibrant, intimidatingly healthy greens. "And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk." Ben groaned, leaning back in his chair. "Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane." "Ben, that is not nice," Shine scolded her brother, before looking at her mother with genuine concern. "Mom does aerobics. She could shatter her hip." Reba stopped blending, giving her children a flat, unamused stare. "And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless," she stated calmly, turning back to the machine. Brock walked into the kitchen, entirely unaware of the tension. "Hey, everybody," he greeted cheerfully. He stopped, his eyes landing on Barbara Jean. "I am here and I am." He trailed off, blinking in surprise. "Oh, shut up and have a donut," Reba muttered to him, sliding a plate across the counter. Barbara Jean glided across the kitchen, looking as though she were walking on air. She stopped near the island, resting her hands lightly on the marble. Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? She asked, her tone dripping with newfound, mildly condescending expertise. Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbs. Reba poured the thick, green sludge into a glass, her jaw tightening. Barber Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle, Reba replied slowly, measuring her words. But seriously, I mean, there has to be some sort of limit. Reba noticed Van staring openly at Barber Jean, his mouth slightly agape. Will you stop staring at her? Reba snapped, tapping the counter to break his trance. What? Van blinked, shaking his head as if waking up from a spell. We have been staring at her for like the past 2 hours. Well, she is pretty. Barber Jean touched her face lightly, a delighted giggle escaping her lips. I am pretty. Reba rolled her eyes, handing out the grim-looking smoothies. Well, of course you are. You have always been pretty. But she is new pretty. Oh, Van, that is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife, Reba said sharply, placing a protective hand on Cheyenne's shoulder. Van, entirely oblivious to the rising tension, leaned forward, genuinely analyzing Barber Jean's new appearance. Van, you really think that I am new pretty? Barber Jean asked, clearly fishing for more compliments. Oh yeah, Van agreed enthusiastically. You are like a bleached-out Halle Berry. Barber Jean beamed, glowing under the praise. Thank you. You are welcome, Van replied happily. I am going to go make some calls. He stood up and wandered out of the room, leaving a slightly awkward silence in his wake. Brock stepped forward, nervously adjusting his collar. He looked at Barber Jean, his expression a mix of admiration and deep insecurity. So, Barber Jean, he began hesitantly. Is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight, you want to do, you know? He made a vague, bouncing gesture with his hands. Barber Jean stared at her for a long moment, then broke into a wide smile. Hello? I have always been that way. Reba thought about it for a second. She kinda got a point there, she muttered to herself. It was true. Barber Jean had always been loud, eccentric, and desperate for the spotlight. The weight loss had not changed her personality, only her packaging. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barber Jean, Reba said slowly, trying to articulate her feelings. Yeah, Barber Jean nodded sadly. The way you guys look at me, I am still the same Barber Jean I always was. I am just less winded. Brock, who had been watching this exchange quietly, finally stepped forward. He looked deeply ashamed. I know she might be right. Could be us. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. He trailed off, knowing he was partly to blame. Reba stepped forward, realizing she needed to confess her own ugly truth. Look, Barber Jean. The truth is I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. Barber Jean looked puzzled. You know, anything, so I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry. Sorry. Barber Jean repeated, a massive smile spreading across her face. Yeah, this is great. Reba looked confused. Great. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Barber Jean squealed with delight, clapping her hands together. Reba recoiled instantly. I do not want to be you. I know. It is even better. You want to look like me. Barber Jean grabbed her gym bag and headed for the kitchen, humming happily to herself. Reba watched her go, a mixture of annoyance and affection bubbling in her chest. Hey, where are you going? Just going to go grab something to eat, Barber Jean called over her shoulder. I will see you next year. Reba smiled, shaking her head. Some things never changed, no matter how much weight was lost. Upstairs, in Van and Cheyenne's bedroom, a different kind of resolution was taking place. Van was sitting on the edge of the bed, flipping mindlessly through the television channels. Ben walked in, holding a controller. "Hey, buddy, what are we watching?" Ben asked, plopping down next to Van. "No, we are not," Van said firmly, turning off the television. "Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go." Ben smirked, readying his fist. "You are going to pick scissors, are not you?" "Get out," Van yelled good-naturedly, pointing toward the door. Ben laughed and ran out of the room. A moment later, Cheyenne walked in. She looked nervous, fidgeting with the hem of her shirt. "Hey, honey," Van said softly, looking up at his wife. "Hey, baby, I need to talk to you," Cheyenne said, her voice barely a whisper. "Oh, honey, I just got the television," Van groaned playfully, though he immediately gave her his full attention. Cheyenne sat down next to him, taking a deep breath. "Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest." Van's eyes widened in horror. He reached out and took her hands in his. "No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty." Cheyenne smiled weakly, but continued. "But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig." She reached into a bag sitting on the floor and pulled out a bright, unnatural-looking blonde wig. She held it up nervously, waiting for his reaction. Van gently took the wig from her hands and tossed it onto the floor. "Cheyenne, put that down. Listen to me." He looked deeply into her eyes, his expression more serious and sincere than she had seen in a long time. "I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer body. I see my wife," Van said, his voice thick with emotion. "And I am attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas." Cheyenne felt tears prick the corners of her eyes. "Really?" "Yeah," Van promised, squeezing her hands gently. "You are beautiful to me because of who you are." Cheyenne leaned her head against his shoulder, feeling a profound sense of peace wash over her. I feel kinda stupid." Van wrapped his arms around her, kissing the top of her head. "That is also who you are, and I love it." He stood up, pulling her to her feet. "Come on, you. Where are we going?" "Oh, we are going upstairs," Van said with a mischievous grin. Cheyenne laughed, swatting his arm playfully. "Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone." Van pulled her close, resting his forehead against hers. "Sometimes I want to feel new pretty." As they walked out of the room together, hand in hand, the house finally settled into a peaceful quiet. The misunderstandings had been cleared, the insecurities had been comforted, and the family bonds, though tested, remained stronger than ever. The transformation of Mrs. Hart had caused a brief storm, but it had only served to remind them all that true beauty and true love were not measured by the numbers on a scale or the reflection in a mirror, but by the acceptance and warmth they shared with one another. The morning sun streamed through the expansive windows of the kitchen, casting a warm, golden hue over the polished countertops and the scattered remnants of what used to be a fully stocked pantry. The house was usually a sanctuary of controlled chaos, a place where laughter and gentle bickering echoed against the walls. But today, a distinct air of sheer bewilderment hung in the air. Reba stood near the center island, her hands resting on her hips as she surveyed the barren shelves with wide, disbelieving eyes. She let out a long, heavy sigh that seemed to carry the weight of 1,000 grocery shopping trips. "That woman is entirely out of control," Reba declared, her voice a mixture of awe and profound exasperation. She turned to face her family, who were gathered around the kitchen table in various states of morning grogginess. "She is exactly like a locust. I swear to you, she has eaten absolutely everything in this house." She reached out and picked up the small, glass salt and pepper shakers from the center of the table, shaking them lightly. They rattled with a hollow, empty sound. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house too. Look at this. Even the salt and pepper shakers are completely empty. I do not even understand how that is physically possible. Cheyenne, sitting at the table with her chin resting in her hands, looked up at her mother with a sympathetic but tired expression. Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? She suggested, her tone implying that the solution was incredibly simple. Reba's eyes widened, and she took a step back, holding her hands up in immediate surrender. You tell her, Reba countered swiftly, passing the metaphorical baton without a second of hesitation. No, you tell her, Cheyenne shot back, completely unwilling to step into that particular line of fire. Sitting across from Cheyenne was Van, who leaned forward with a sudden spark of competitive energy in his eyes. Beside him sat Ben, looking equally determined. Van extended his hand, forming a tight fist. Rock, paper, scissors, Van challenged, his voice dropping an octave as if they were about to engage in a duel of epic proportions. Ben rolled his eyes, a knowing smirk playing on his lips. Ben, you know you are going to lose, Cheyenne pointed out, her voice laced with sibling amusement. Not this time, Ben replied with absolute confidence. He raised his fist, mirroring Van's posture. 1, 2, 3. With synchronized precision, their hands descended. Ben threw a flat palm for paper. Van threw out 2 fingers for scissors. Dang it, Ben groaned, dropping his head onto the table in dramatic defeat. He turned to look at Van with genuine confusion. How do you always beat me? Van grinned, a bright, easy smile that lit up his entire face. Because you always pick scissors, Van explained simply, as if imparting a profound piece of ancient wisdom. Ben frowned, his brow furrowing. Of course I do. It is my system. Cheyenne turned to Van, her eyes expectant. So you will tell her?
Van S' confident demeanor instantly evaporated.
He sat back in his chair, his eyes darting toward the hallway. Yeah, fine, he mumbled reluctantly, before shaking his head vigorously. No, I do not want to. He turned to Cheyenne, his voice taking on a pleading. Reba leaned heavily against the closed door, catching her breath. He is big, but he is not as big as Dot. So what do you think? Is there something going on there? Brock demanded, his voice bordering on hysterical. Reba looked at him, feeling a sudden wave of exhaustion. Look, Brock. I was hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But Brock threw his hands in the air. That is it. Reba, come on, Brock groaned, pacing faster. Okay, I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock stopped dead in his tracks, the color completely drained from his face, leaving him looking like a ghost in his own living room. Man, I knew there was something going on. Before Reba could offer any further counsel, the front door swung open again. Barbara Jean breezed in, radiating energy and sunshine. Hey, everybody. I am here and I am saying, well, oh, hi, honey, she beamed, moving to kiss Brock on the cheek. Brock stepped back, holding a hand up like a traffic cop. Do not you hi honey me. Barbara Jean stopped, her smile faltering into genuine confusion. What are you talking about? Oh man, Brock dragged a hand down his face. Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Barbara Jean blinked, looking from Brock to Reba and back again. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Brock turned to Reba, a desperate edge to his voice. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba immediately held up both hands in a gesture of surrender. I do not want to get involved. She said you are having an affair, Brock accused, his voice trembling slightly. Barbara Jean gasped, a hand flying to her chest. Any more than I already am. She took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay. The silence in the room was absolute, deafening. What? Brock squeaked, his voice cracking. Barbara Jean crossed her arms, looking deeply offended. Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts? Brock choked on thin air. Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts. He is gay, Barbara Jean reiterated patiently, as if explaining a simple concept to a small child. He was not touching them. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. She turned and marched toward the kitchen, leaving a stunned silence in her wake. But a moment later, she stopped and spun back around, her expression suddenly fierce. No, Reba, everything is not fine, Barbara Jean stated, her voice trembling with sudden emotion. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me, the slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus. Reba, still reeling from the sudden turn of events, frowned in confusion. The phallus. The girls, Barbara Jean clarified, gesturing vaguely to her chest. Oh, the puppies. Reba found her footing, her own defensive walls snapping into place. I am not threatened by you. Really? Barbara Jean challenged, stepping closer. Yeah. Then why did you go down to the gym? What were you spying on me? Reba crossed her arms, standing her ground. No. Okay. Yes. I went down to the gym because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Barbara Jean asked, genuine hurt shimmering in her eyes. Because you have changed, Reba said, the truth finally spilling out. I have not. Yes, you have. Reba pressed on, her voice rising slightly. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. Brock, standing awkwardly in the crossfire, cleared his throat. Hello? I have always been that way. He pointed a thumb at Barbara Jean. She kind of got a point there. Reba ignored him, keeping her eyes locked on Barbara Jean. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean looked down at the floor, the bravado suddenly melting away, leaving her looking small and vulnerable. Yeah, the way you guys look at me, I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. The vulnerability hit Reba hard. She felt a sudden pang of guilt. She looked at Brock, who was staring at his shoes, and then back to Barbara Jean. The anger drained out of the room, leaving behind a quiet, uncomfortable truth. I know she might be right, Reba admitted softly. Could be us. Brock looked up, his expression softening. He moved to stand next to his wife. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. Reba took a deep breath, deciding to lay all her cards on the table. Look, Barbara Jean, the truth is I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. You know, anything. So I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry. Barbara Jean looked up, a slow, radiant smile spreading across her face. Sorry. Yeah. This is great. Barbara Jean cheered, her usual exuberance returning in a rush. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba's eyes widened in horror. I do not want to be you. I know. It is even better. Barbara Jean clapped her hands together joyfully. You want to look like me. Reba stared at her for a long moment, realizing that further explanation was futile. The storm had passed, replaced by the familiar, slightly chaotic sunshine that always seemed to follow Barbara Jean. Reba turned on her heel and headed for the door. Hey, where are you going? Brock asked. Just going to go grab something to eat. Reba called over her shoulder. I will see you next year. Upstairs, in a quieter part of the house, a different kind of resolution was taking place. Van was sitting on the edge of his bed, flipping mindlessly through channels on the television. Hey, buddy, a voice called out softly from the doorway. What are we watching? Van looked over to see Cheyenne standing there. No, we are not. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go. He held up his hand, ready to play. You are going to pick scissors, are not you? Get out. Cheyenne stepped fully into the room, closing the door quietly behind her. Hey, honey. Hey, baby, Van replied, his tone softening instantly. I need to talk to you, she said, her voice laced with nervous energy. Van sighed, setting the remote down. Oh, honey, I just got the television. Cheyenne took a deep breath, wringing her hands together. Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest. Van stood up immediately, crossing the room to stand in front of her. No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty. Cheyenne offered a small, hesitant smile. But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig. She reached behind her back, pulling out a bright, slightly chaotic blonde wig that looked like it belonged on a mannequin from the previous decade. Van gently reached out and took the wig from her hands, tossing it onto the nearby chair. He placed his hands on her shoulders, looking deep into her eyes. Cheyenne, put that down, he said softly, his voice thick with genuine emotion. Listen to me. I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer bod. Cheyenne's face fell slightly, her insecurity flaring. Van smiled warmly, cupping her cheek. I see my wife, and I am attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas. Cheyenne looked up at him, hope blossoming in her chest. Really? Yeah. Van nodded slowly, his eyes shining with absolute sincerity. You are beautiful to me because of who you are. A soft, happy sigh escaped Cheyenne's lips. I feel kinda stupid. Van pulled her into a tight, comforting embrace, resting his chin on top of her head. That is also who you are, and I love it. He kissed the top of her head, pulling back to offer a charming grin. Come on, you. Where are we going? Cheyenne smiled, a spark returning to her eyes. Oh, we are going upstairs. Van looked momentarily confused. Hold on. I thought you did not